here at a overcast Richmond Crescent for the match today, East Geelong versus Winchelsea. So very, very impressive Winchelsea last week, Dale, and obviously East Geelong right up there. Surprise loss round one, but haven't put a foot wrong since. So alongside me, as always in the commentary box, we have our very young-looking grubby-cations.
Yeah, g'day viewers and g'day listeners, and I just don't know. I reckon 3 votes for Sam Lowe and Kalen. What are you looking at, you idiot? I tell you what. This Australian crawl for me this weekend up at Albury. So it'll be good.
No, we do. Grubby is away. I just spoke to one of the bosses in the league, and apparently hasn't put a leave form in, so not getting paid his $0 today. So bad luck for you, Grub. We have the self-proclaimed Lithuanian lover in the box with us, Alex Degani. Welcome back to the GDFNL first, mate, and it's great to have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Look, my footy duties north of the Murray have kept me busy the last 5 years, but every possible chance I've been able to get, I've definitely had a listen to you guys. Spider, you've been doing a brilliant job. Dale, I've been listening to for about 20 years, so obviously my respect doesn't even have to be mentioned on that note. And what an even competition I've returned back to.
You have, mate. I started ignoring Dale about 30 years ago, mate, so nothing's changed since. And, of course, the voice, the man of the GDFNL call, Dale Smith. How are you, buddy?
Yes, very nice to be here, the Spider. As I said, a little bit fresh, as I said, with that back door up. Now it's closed. Just sort of warm up a bit. So looking forward to a good game of football this afternoon. As I said, East Geelong going along pretty nice. They haven't done too much wrong in their game so far. Winchelsea, as they probably should have done last week, a big second half of football and got rid of Belpost still pretty convincingly. So different challenge here for them this afternoon. So this will really sell me where Winchelsea are. And as I said, for a side that was sitting on the bottom of the ladder last week, I don't think they were actually that poor a side. So they've got a couple of changes in their side today. Will make it interesting. But as I said, Grubby away this weekend. We know he's up on the Murray, or the other side of the Murray, celebrating his birthday, 65 today, I think. Or no, 65 on the 20.
It's Wednesday,
65
mate.
the 29th, isn't
29th.
it? Yeah,
so we'll actually hand it.
I reckon Spidey doesn't look a day over 64, but we'll hear that next week when he's back, I would think.
We'll actually put out his number later on air so people can text him next week. Just anyone random, a bit like the text line for the Pulse. We'll just send it out so randoms can text him all day. He'll love that.
Well, I'm already sweating bullets, ready for a reply from him after that introduction, so we'll see how we go.
The beauty for you, though, Al, is that Grubby has no idea how to use technology, so won't be listening. And by the time he gets home Monday, he'll forget there was a game on today, so he won't watch the replay.
Yes.
But no, it is nice to have you, mate, back here as doing the GDFNL media, mate. You've cut your teeth in this competition. Of course, Dick Philpott gave you the name, the Lithuanian lover, mate. I won't say you're self-proclaimed, but you have run with it ever since.
I have up until this year, but the way another Lithuanian, Jack Lukosius, is going for the Gold Coast Suns, I don't think I'd get a kick standing next to him. So
I'd be suggesting you're on more money than he is anyway, mate.
Must have put in the hours on the social media. But no, look, it's been great to be back. As you guys might have noticed, my role this year is really to just embrace the league in that Tuesday, Thursday, Friday window, and then just you guys do your thing on a Saturday. We all complement each other, and you know, how good has it been? I've already said it in our first 5 minutes, but we had the most even opening round of the season, and then just a fortnight ago when you guys were enjoying yourselves at the West Oval, I'd gone from finals-like atmosphere at Bannockburn against Werribee. I thought I'd go to Thompson, North Geelong, but my heart just told me I'm going to go up to Anarchy, Belpost Hill. So both of those games ended up being a point, and I believe there was even a draw that round.
So, well, we said it last week, Grubby on air. He had the point differentials between the 3 leagues.
Yep.
And it was the GFL was 400 points, the Bellarine was 290 or 280, and we were about 180, which. Yeah, was about 186, something like that. Average 186 over the last 2 rounds. And when it was the 180 odd, we had a 90-point win and a 60-point win, and then we had 4 games with less than 30 points. So this competition has, it's gone to heads and leaps and bounds at the time you've been gone. Corio are on 6 points and at 10 points out of the 5. We're 7 rounds into the season. We've still got generally any one of the 12 sides can make it now. We've seen a couple of games that probably puts a line through a couple of sides in reality, but the fact is that at the moment, mathematically, every side is still a chance.
Yes, they are, Spider, but I think we can, as you said, I think we can cross a couple out now. But having said that, as I said, it just needs one or two sides to go on a bit of a run, and things could change dramatically for them, and obviously then for the rest of the league. So it is good, as I said, to actually see that the sides that we're really struggling are now more competitive. Unfortunately, as I said, the win-loss ratio probably at the end of the year mightn't stack up to where they would like it to be, but let's hope things can change over the next what do we got, next 10 or 15 rounds or something. So that would be good to hopefully see things even up just a little bit more.
11 games. Now, Al, there's 3 jobs. This is what Grubby does, and I've already done one for you. I've gone and got the team sheets. The second job is to make sure you have the sponsors ready to go, and the third job you have is we need to know who the umpires are as we get close to the game.
Okay.
So you need to research that and make sure you got them for us, mate. It's very easy. I've got them on the phone, so that'll make it easy for you as well.
Beautiful.
But that's all Grubby brings.
Okay.
So the rest of the day you pretty much got off.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
All right, gents. Obviously, 5 other games around the league today, and there's probably a couple of games, Dale, we could have gone to, but after the impressive showing by Winch last week, we thought, you know what, this could be an absolute cracking game because they both have a similar style of play. They like to run and carry, don't they?
They do, and as I said, second half they really opened themselves up last week, Winchelsea, and showed what sort of style of football they can play. As I said, this opposition won't let them do exactly what they did last week. But East Geelong, as I said, we've seen them, I think this will be the fourth time this season, and from every time we've seen them, they've been very impressive. And they probably, to me now, probably would be the side to beat. And again, getting some quality players back into their side. They haven't been at full strength all season, and there's still a couple more blokes that will probably come into this side at some stage. A couple running around the twos today.
And Watson Searle being one.
Yeah, so he's probably the extra bonus that they will have going forward if they can get him back up and firing, as I said, with him, Smith, and a few other blokes. Ezard up forward, Mulville, who's been exceptional up forward this year.
Second the goal kicking.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is that gives them 4 really good players that can actually kick goals, and some good targets up forward. So they've got everything going for them at the present time. As I said, injuries can have a factor. We just have to look around the leagues and any league and you can see that you take 1 or 2 or 3 players out of anyone's side and things can change pretty dramatically.
Well, you look at the ladder as it stands. Belmont, 7 and zip. I'm not sure anyone outside of Belmont would have predicted that.
They probably wouldn't have thought that.
Probably half, to be honest. Inside Belmont wouldn't have thought that. Then you got East Geelong and Werribee both on 6 and 1, separated by percentage. All right, so you got the 3 sides, 28, 24, 24. Then you got Bannockburn and Thompson both on 16. North Geelong 12, Inverleigh 10, Winch, Anarchy, Belpost Hill, Geelong West Giants on 8, and Corio on 6. And Corio haven't been that bad in the games we've seen.
They haven't been. That's the thing. They've had a chance to win probably a lot of those games and haven't been getting over the top. So that, for them, as I said last week's pod, I reckon they'd be disappointed that they're not showing a better result or win-loss return at the present stage. And obviously with Joel now out of the side, there's a fair bit of hole to fill up. So, But having said that, they've just got to be positive about what they do. They are taking, we've said it all along, they're going in the right direction. There's no doubt about that.
And doing it the right way.
And again, but I reckon Darren would be very frustrated that they just can't notch those wins. As I said, in games most of the time, and just for little parts of it, they just seem to fall away. So, again, I'm not too sure. I can't remember who they've got this afternoon, but let's hope that they can start to get themselves back on track and start looking at winning a few.
Is this Corio?
Yeah.
They've got Geelong West.
Geelong West.
So I'd favour them entering this afternoon.
Here's another thing. They're on the bottom of the ladder. All right, so Thompson are 5th. 4 wins, percentage of 86.74. Corio, bottom of the ladder with 1.5 wins, percentage 85.67.
Yep.
So their percentages are almost equal with the 5th side, yet they're sitting on 1.5 wins. So, it just shows how much they've improved and how well they're going. So, it's an interesting competition.
And look, what I find interesting about this race is, we've been saying for a fortnight, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, there are still teams that could 10 teams that could win it. I'm not going to quote anyone individually, but that's kind of the common number that's been thrown my way. But I think all 10 of those teams can win for different reasons. I'll just quickly go through 3 that come to mind. Werribee can win it because of their run home. 8 of the last 11 are at home. So they've done most of their hard work on the road. They'll still finish the year at Thompson, so that's going to be a big one, but we'll see how they go today against them at home. Belmont, I was telling Dale off air, it's the depth. You've got 30, 35 blokes right now who are still missing out on resis. But they're showing up to training. That's not the Belmont Lions we've seen post-Harmy Williams, I reckon. But guess what?
Or pre-Harmy. I'll give you the
That was a little
now.
bit. I was at the Belmont Kinder during that era, but I can't remember as much.
I was there.
Even Thompson. Look, I'm going to keep it to 2 words. Paul Lynch. You get a Paul Lynch coach side. I saw him, Colac Tigers, 10 years ago play Leopold 6th versus 7th on this week, 10 years ago. And guess what? Those two end up playing in a grand final. He wins it for Colac. So every one of those 10 teams, I just named 3, I won't go through all of them, have a different way they can do it. East Geelong, I'm very interested today to see what they have that the other 9 contenders don't.
Well, you're probably right. All right, well, let's talk about the other contenders, mate. And the first game we'll go to is out at Moreton Power Oval, out at Inverleigh, which they had a good win last week. Obviously, they beat West, and West had 7 come back in, and they needed them after the week before, Dale, didn't they? They take on Anarchy, who are now an interesting case where they're at. A lot of hoo-ha and everything about at the start of the season, and East Geelong got hold of them at home last week and beat them by 16 goals. So, thoughts on that one, Dale? Inverleigh Anarchy, Dale?
Well, I think Inverleigh have got a few good ins coming back in this week, Spider. So Mason Dixon's one, Robinson's good, winning around the contest. Who else was coming through? There was Toby Manganelli back in, so provides another option up forward for them, or someone that can go into their midfield. There's a couple of others which I can't remember just off the top of my head who they are, but you bring those 5 blokes back into a side, and that makes a hell of a difference to them. As I said, they've been going along okay. In a game against Bannockburn, we know that. In a game against Thompson, and also against East Geelong, so the 3 sides that they probably would, maybe have won 1 or 2 of those in recent years, but gave away starts to most of them, except for the Bannockburn game where they kicked poorly. Yep. If they had been able to start well in those games, then they might have been a different situation. But they've given both East and Thompson a 5-goal head start and tried to catch up, and only went down by narrow margin. So the football they're playing is okay. So I think they'd be happy with what they're doing, but unfortunately, when you start slowly and give these other sides a bit of a crack at it, they're going to hold you as best they can, and if you can't win those games of football, then it becomes a disappointment to you. Today, I think they will start well. We know Donny the last couple of weeks, I think he's kicked 4 and 5 goals in the first quarter. Hasn't got much after that, so maybe the leagues are going to be a bit wary after half-time. I'm not too sure.
I think it's paid for the first quarter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting if they can maybe control him early in the game and don't live in that access to the ball, then Anarchy might give themselves a chance. They have improved, no doubt about it. They're playing some better football. They've got some good marking options up forward. Yep. Unfortunately, again, with the introduction or the blokes coming back into the Inverleigh side, I think it's going to be a real challenge for them today. I hope it doesn't blow out like it did last week, but that could be a possibility.
Al, a question about being the man around town, talking about players going back. Do we know when Michael Best is due back for Inverleigh?
He won't play.
I had a chat with him at Anzac Day, and just on body language, it doesn't look like we'll have him back, which is a shame because he was one of all of our all-time favourites. He had that iconic handball over your opponent, run around him, pick up the ball and kick it forward.
Like the old Gaelic footy, chip the ball to yourself.
No, he's a top bloke on and off the field, and so is Casey Meehan, who celebrates game 150 in the seniors.
I'm a bit disappointed in Inverleigh. Seems though we had their coach on hashtag this morning. You think they would have posted something rather than at 2 minutes past 9 when the show was finished? They would have done it at 2 minutes to 8 before we went on air. But yeah. So thoughts on today, mate? Inverleigh Anarchy.
Yeah, look, the names that came back in. Obviously, Filet goes without saying in terms of his one-on-one work. I was there on Tuesday night. Manganelli wasn't training with the group, so I was wondering if we were going to see him or not. Obviously, he must have had a very impressive Thursday night. And they reckon Ryan Robertson coming out of the senior side then weakened their resis last week, and that's why their resis had that shock loss to Geelong West. So in terms of depth, bragging or boasting how good Belmont's was, Hawks don't quite have the depth at this point in the season. But when it comes to the senior flag race, doesn't matter. As long as they get the win today, that's all that they're going to worry about. Anarchy on the other, so the Hawks are my tip. Anarchy, I saw the first 2 rounds this season, and they happen to both be Anarchy games. They played small in the first round. Bannockburn were all over them through Fulton's height. Yeah. They played tall in the second half. Peter Riccardi coached around it, used those wings at Keith Barclay Oval to his advantage and stuck to his game plan. So they're 0-2. Round 3, I was ready to just put a line through them, and then they beat Werribee. So it's like, well, hang on a sec. What is this Anarchy side? What can we expect from them? Dalhouse didn't have as much influence from all reports last week as he did the first 6 rounds. So whether Ned at East Geelong actually really did something to stop his performance, but you need more than a Luke Dalhouse to make the finals in this league. So I'd like to see a lot of improvement from the Roos. Obviously, a 15-goal loss to the Eagles last week, but it's Inverleigh for me.
No worries, mate. And speaking of one of the sides you just spoke of, Bano, up at Windy Hill, I know it's still here, but there'll be at least a 15k Zephyr up there, Dale. Belpo still taking on Bannockburn.
Yes, from what we saw last week, Spider, the only benefit for Belpo still is Jack Yates is back in the side.
How can the bloke actually be in traction on Friday night and be playing today?
Well, let's put it this way. Let's hope he's not bringing himself back because of the result last week just to get out there and help him out, because it'd be a shame for him to do exactly the same thing or injure it a little bit more and then have to miss 5 or 6. So, look, he's a ripping young bloke, that bloke, and I reckon any club in our league or any club playing in high would love to have a bloke like him running around, because he's just a ripper at what he does. He's a competitor. He's a beast. He just goes about his business as he should. He's got a good head on his shoulders and he's a good leader. So with that from last week, as I said, Herman was very good. I don't know whether he was their captain or coach or captain last week, but he was the leader last week. This week it's going to be falling back. I think where they're going to struggle is no Bannister today. I think he comes out of the side.
He does, yeah.
So you've got Fulton, you've got Kunchka. Unfortunately, you lose Alzinga, I think, to Falcons. Is that right? Is he definitely gone?
That was reported in the media this week.
And they've also debuting another young bloke today, I believe, Banno. I'm not sure who it is.
Ruckman. Well,
from St Albans.
Yeah.
The big man.
Is he? I thought there was a young kid coming through, what I was saying this morning on the show.
Yeah, no, look, they've got what's his name, Phillips back in again, I think. But
okay.
Again, I read somewhere where it said a ruckman. But if he's a ruckman, I think Bannockburn in trouble because he's only way high. He's small and jigger and
he's built like a blade of grass.
Yeah, well, as I said, he's closer to a grasshopper than a giraffe, so I know that. But anyway, look, I think Bannockburn can't afford to lose today's game. I think what they've been doing, they must have been okay last week. I think they had similar now to shots, but Belmont, as I said, you look at any result these days, good kickings win matches, and that's what sides have been able to do. I think Bannockburn win the game of football. Having said that, I think Belpo's still the one side that, like they do with East, they trouble them. I don't know what it is or how they go about it, but they're just one side that knows how to play against them. So it won't be an easy game of football. I think they will get over it. It might take a bit of doing, but I think by the end they might be all right.
With the tools you're talking about, no Godwin. We've seen him once against.
Was he running last week with a broken hand? Was that him?
Might have been.
I reckon it was.
So I've got a tally of who's missed which games for Belpo. So I don't want to interrupt your preview.
No, you're right.
So
mate. Grubby does all the time. So.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, funny that.
Mate, you got something to add, you just jump in.
That's it.
Because usually it's Dale going, you've got nothing to add to that. So it's probably going to Dale first.
Well, look, about a fortnight ago, I tried to identify the Mount Rushmore of Belpost Hill players that you could really rely on this season. Obviously, they've had an exodus, but I've never mentioned that this year, and nor do I plan on for the rest of the year. Except for now. But then with Dale's influence, I added Herman. So we'll call it a quintet of Yates, Godwin, Bannister, Herman, and Cairns. I've been impressed with him off the half-back line. Yep. So the first 3 rounds, you had 4 of them first 3 rounds, you had 4 of them without Bannister, and it was an 11-point win here against East, 35-point loss against the Hawks, 42-point loss against Corio, which you guys saw. You bring Bannister into that lineup. This is the only game where you had all 5. It was still a 16-point loss to Werribee, but many said that was Belpost Hill's best game this season. All right.
Well, they were 9 goals up just after half-time, or 7 goals. They got beat.
So it goes to show you how impressive that when you have all 5 of those players in season 2024 on the ground, Belpost Hill are a final side. That's my big call for the day. But then, since then, Yates missed out on round 5. Godwin's missed out on everything since. So round 5, they lost by 48 to Geelong West.
And don't forget, Collins is the other bloke in that as well.
I haven't seen enough of Bo to make that call. I was flirting with it, but
he's flirting with it as well. But
we'll make it for you, mate.
Yeah.
But I'll end this with a question to you two from last week's game. Round 6, I saw Belpost Hill up by 25 with about 5 minutes to go. Yates comes off with the ankle. They win it by 1 point. So that just shows you how important Jack Yates is. But the question I had to you guys after last week's 109-point margin, so you had Bannister, Herman and Cairns. The other 2 weren't playing. How good was Bannister last week? Like, did you rate him across all 4 quarters, or did it drop off after
it's
half
interesting.
time?
I never considered him to be in our better players, in our 3-2-1. I never gave him that
Okay.
for me. But again, it's pretty hard when the ball in the second half, they kick, what do we say, 16 goals.
16 they kicked.
So he's getting a fair look at what's going
Yeah.
down that way. But again, to me, he played well.
Yep.
But when you're getting that barrage of stuff against you, it's really hard to stand out. Whereas I thought Herman, who I gave votes to, was in through there. He was carrying the ball. He ran. He delivered the ball. He was just one of those blokes that was sort of everywhere.
Yeah.
And he really stood out to me more than what Bannister did. But again, what a club values and what we see and what probably umpires see, you're looking at 3 different opinions on a game of football. So he wasn't bad. But
you might have, so the coaches give someone a job we don't know about.
Yep.
You know?
He would have had a big job last week. Like it was massive the second half.
was-
But I don't know who. As I said, you go and look at their side, and there was a couple of other blokes that played really well early in their game. McIntyre, at one stage, I always thought he was nearly best on the ground the first quarter and
For
a
both
half.
sides.
Well, yeah, well, he did give a bit away. Joshy Norman, was it? I think he played
Josh
a good
Norman,
game for him.
He runs everywhere.
Yeah, so they've got Dan Marr was quite good. He took some marks. He went from forward defence and then back again. So they have got a basis there still. You would like to see an influx of those blokes that have gone north come back into that side, and with what they've been able to do with what they've got, I think they're going okay. Like, I don't know whether Tari would be. Obviously, he'd be disappointed that he's lost all those players, but with what they put out there each week, and as you've gone through there, when you've got your best of what you're available, then you are competitive. But unfortunately, it's the same old thing. Those injuries don't happen to 19, 20, 21, 22.
No.
It's bloody 1, 2, 6, 5, or 1, 2, 5, 6, and you lose those blokes the other side, and it really bloody hurts, especially when you've already got you're getting kicked around, and it makes it hard. So, look, they're making some good steps. Again, by all reports, as I said, Godwin back on that side, and 1 or 2 others now, if they can keep building on that. You know, they're not too far away about returning a season.
Well, you've lost Quinny, Sable. Andrew's come back for 1 game. Don't think Sable will be back from what I'm hearing. But if you put them with Bowie Collins back in, the nucleus is really. But see what happens then is the kids like McIntyre and Norman who have to run through the ball. You know, like they're 35 kilo ringing wet with a towel on. You know, there's nothing else. So certainly they go back out in the wings, and the bigger bodies come into the middle. It evens the game up in the middle a little bit.
Yep.
For me, the improvement, it's still a fair bit to go, is Clancy McKay. He just needs to learn to clunk the ball over his head. He gets to enough contests, gets his hands up, but just doesn't hold the marks enough. But he's only a young bloke. That'll come, but he needs to. In this side, they're better players have to be. Look, I thought Sam Harmer was really good last week too, Dale.
Yeah, he's
so,
good.
I think he captained, didn't he? I think
Yeah,
Sam Harmer might have captained.
remember.
So, your blokes like your Geordie Flacavento, your Harmers, your Kerrans, these sort of blokes who have been in the system when they were either successful and the tail end of the success, are the ones you have to look to lead now and take the kids with them. But you can't expect them to do it for 4 quarters, week in, week out, because they're going to get the suitcase belted out of them by bigger bodies. And that's what I reckon was last week in the end. The fact that it became boys versus men, didn't it?
Yep.
And that, the young blokes tried their guts out. And it's going to be the same today against Bannockburn.
Yep.
You look, I mean, I know Liam's not playing Elzinga, but you look at him as an 18-year-old and look at some of the 18-year-olds running at Belpost still. He's 2 of them. They're bigger, and that's what's going to happen today against Bannockburn.
Yep.
They'll be in it. They'll work their backsides off. I know it was a bigger margin than the game before. I still thought last week's game was a better game than the week before. Geelong and Geelong West, because Belpost at least tried to score and tried things.
Yep.
But to be honest, they just smothered them. Didn't they? Winch just completely smothered them coming out of the back line, and they just didn't have the answers. Whereas you talk about the dynasty sides, they had the answers.
Yep.
You couldn't do that against those sides. Whereas you see they're trying to teach them. The skills aren't quite there, and that's when you're missing that key group of 23 to 27-year-olds, which Belpost still are.
Yep.
That's where you get beat, and Bannockburn today, I think will exploit that. And I'd like to say it's going to be a close game, but I still think there's going to be a bit in it.
I'll go with Bannockburn as well. I won't dwell too much on what I've seen from them. I saw them round 1 and against Werribee for the first quarter. I don't know what I was watching that game. I hope for their sake that was a one-off, but with Bannister out of the side, and they can't rely on him the same that Anarchy can't rely on Lloyd, Dan Maher gets the job on Kieran Fulton down back, or what would you do?
Brody Hecker maybe,
bit
higher.
You don't have many options, do you? You've got
No.
Brody Hecker, Clancy McKay, and they're the only blokes really over 6 foot, about 6 foot
Then you've got to run with Kunska as well.
And you don't, I mean, this is where Josh Andrews was so important over the last couple of years, that side, because he wasn't 6'4", but he could play. He played tall. And that's
Fletcher
what
Wilson's another option up forward, which they use pretty well. I think it was Kelly, is it? Yeah, not Bailey. Bailey Kelly.
Bailey Kelly.
Yeah, so he's another bloke that's been getting amongst their goals as well. So they've got 4 or 5 bigger blokes, and then they've been able to put some smaller blokes in with the Battalias and Elzinger and all that sort of stuff. But he's obviously not there today.
Fletcher
but still,
Wilson.
so you've got some good options in their forward line. So they're going to stretch Belpo still in defence, but that happened last week. First half, they manfully stood up and did a nice job. But as I said, they have been a side that have troubled Bannockburn for whatever reason. And it doesn't matter where they have been. As I said, like first game here, you saw that. No one would have given them a chance in hell with what they lost and what they put out on the ground against East Geelong here. You would have thought, well, if East Geelong can't win that by 10 goals, then something's wrong. And then all of a sudden, they've beaten them again. I think we came here last year, and I think we spoke to Tari before the game and all that sort of stuff. And Tari being Tari was positive that they could go all right. We basically, I think everyone went for East Geelong. Belpo still come out and played like they do and beat them. So, so it's a funny, footy's a funny game.
I think last year they played, it was almost that that last hurrah sort of thing, It was the big players, we all knew the big players were going.
Yep.
But the big players are all in the mid-30s, early to mid-30s. They're not young. So, the 9 they lost, they're not young.
So they can all play.
Well, I'd rather have them than not, though. That's the thing. All right, we need to move on. The other game, and people are saying, "Why don't you do Sam?" Well, we're the GDFNL. We cover every club, give every club an even chance. Except we've now number 1 ticket holders of East Geelong. It's 4 times we've seen them, and it's always been here, mate. We like the chicken sandwiches, don't we?
Breast of chicken sandwiches.
Chicken sandwiches. That's what we're here for. But up at the Duck Pond, I think, Al, you're right. They start a run of home games now that Simmel Oval's been opened up and the rooms are done. Lucky Grubby doesn't drink anymore because he'd certainly destroy them. Werribee versus Thompson. Again, Thompson are an enigma. They beat Bannockburn, they beat Inverleigh at home with half a side and then lose 2 games at home. So, mate, what are your thoughts on that one?
I don't know what to think about all these inclusions on Thompson's end. I was actually going to approach this game looking at Werribee, but when you bring Jackson McLeod and a bloke you guys are going to touch up on in Jacob Knight, the big goal kicker, I'm suspecting they're putting 600 senior games of experience back into their lineup. So,
300's Jacko.
Pretty much. Well,
Sammy Jack wouldn't be far behind him, would he?
Nah, he'd I don't know.
Well, Sammy started 09, the year after Glenn Wallace's flag.
Okay.
But I don't know if he played a few games in his first 3 or 4 years or if he was a regular.
Well, there's plenty of games there. 15 years, 18 games a year.
Now, look,
plus finals, so he would have been some of them as well. So
Thompson 4-3 for the season. I keep saying they're coaching, and I'm sounding like the biggest Paul Lynch fan here, but from what I saw at Colac, I believe in anything he can do with the Magnets. But since then, they've lost a few, and the game they did win was only by a point over North Geelong. So,
North beat them by a point.
Sorry, North. They've won a few, but the one they lost was to North Geelong by a point. So they're in good form. I just don't know if this big of a change into the lineup is going to work in their favour or against. Will those experienced players need a gel for a few weeks before they make a statement? Werribee on the other side, apart from the loss to Anarchy, they've ticked all the boxes my way. They've won a game without Crennan. They've won a game without Carlton. They've won a game without Prismal. And as we reach that run of home games at the tail end of their season, hopefully for their sake, they'll have a stronger side to rectify the second half they had last year. So it'll be Werribee for me by a whisker.
Their inclusions they brought in today, McLeod, has he been playing seconds or is he just coming straight back through?
About 5 games in the Resi.
So
He's made his return against Belmont in round 3. Jacker, I'm not sure about that one. And he played 1 game of seniors in round 1, but when you guys saw him against East, he wasn't in the side.
Yeah, no. And the other bloke you just mentioned, the gun forward, he's come back in. Now, Lynch's nephew, is it nephew or?
Oh, I'd have to go back to me and Spider's Colac radio days for the CDFNL connections there. Do you remember?
He's now playing senior football.
Who's that?
Lynch?
Chicken Lynch? No,
Is this
he's
Nick
no,
Lynch?
he's no relation.
No relation.
So just coincidental.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
I thought he was related for some reason.
No. He's from South Colac. He's just one of the South Colac Lynches. So he's been in here playing cricket, and he actually coached South Colac to flag their last flag.
Yeah. See,
So-
Dale got off there because if this was Grubby, I'd call him an idiot and all sorts. But I'm actually a bit more diplomatic.
Unless Lynch is
it.
related to them somehow,
Yeah.
but he's from South Colac.
Okay.
So Chicken's from South Colac. He's a gun cricketer, opening fast bowler. So that's who he come down here originally. He was coaching, I think he was playing at South Barwon cricket and was coaching South Colac.
Well, as I said, I'm a bit confused in this game because I don't know whether the good Thompson will turn up or the bad Thompson will turn up. And again, the Werribee side have done everything they need to do during the course of the season and win games. The surprise was, as you said, the Anarchy loss. At that stage, I don't know whether it'll be too many, but Grubby said that they go out to Anarchy most years and they do struggle out there, so it might be just one of those things. Again, I sort of tend to agree. I think with them back at home this afternoon, and all those players you mentioned, Crennan's important, Carlton's important to them. Prismal obviously coming back now, had 2 or 3 weeks back in their senior side. Paddy Daly's a monster of a man. So obviously they have that advantage there, but I'm pretty impressed with Jordan Cam. I like the way he goes about his ruck contest. And you're adding now some back power and obviously 2 forwards that can both kick goals. So it changes the whole outlook of both sides. Their back line at Thompson has always been good, with Seligen back there, Mowatt's been back there, Maguire, which hasn't been playing back there but can go back, and now you add Jacker back into it, so that strengthens that up as well. So, look, this will be probably a really good game of football to go and watch if you're sitting around the neighbourhood and you want to go. And I think Werribee Centrals have got a bloke that plays with Werribee coming back to them today. Grubby mentioned. I spoke to Grubby this morning.
That gun he's been talking about?
Yep, it is. He's coming back in today because they want him to. He did a hamstring. Grub said this morning he's coming back to play with them today because they want him to have a run before he goes back to Werribee. So that is also another bonus for the Werribee side today. So, and this bloke obviously been at Werribee for all season, can play football, so it's going to be very interesting, and I'm going to stay with the home side.
You've built some suspense here. I know Chopper, the president's got a connection with the VFL after all those years up there, so it's very handy to have the resources. One other thing, I'll just put it out to both of you. I'm intrigued not only with Paul Lynch's lineup today with those names, but especially the forward line. Like, we know Smets can kick goals. The last month he's improved compared to what we saw against Winchelsea and East at the start of the season. I got a soft spot for a former Newtown and Chilwell teammate of mine, Darcy Troop. And then you've got a bloke like Jacko McLeod, who we do know can kick a few goals. So is he going to play someone deep? What's their interchange like? It's going to be very interesting. But like Dale, I'm still sticking to Werribee.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I'm just trying to find I can't remember his name either, mate.
Grubby, you did mention it, but
I'll find it.
He probably went in this area and out the other.
Yeah, when he speaks, that's when.
No.
All right, the next game I have a quick look at, gents, is the all-conquering Belpo still taking on.
No, we've done that.
Sorry, Belpost.
Almost went into Grubby mode then. Hang on a sec.
Well, you can if you like.
idiot.
The all-conquering Belmont Lions versus a very competitive North Geelong. Now, remembering last year, North Geelong won the last game against Corio to get off the bottom of the ladder. So you take that in consideration. They were 17 and zip.
And they missed out on the number 1 draft pick as a result.
Yeah, that's it. They lost Harley Reid, so they were zip and 17 game in that last game as Corio. So what they've done to be 3 and 4 is can't be undersold. So tough challenge though for them today, going to the Winter Resort. So what do you reckon, mate?
Well, 2-1 start to North Geelong. I don't think anyone saw that. Really, they beat Anarchy and then they had the win at Winchelsea on the road. And as we saw last week, Winchelsea are a finals contender, even a top 3 contender if today goes their way. I still have to go with the Belmont Lions, but as much as we party on about their 7 and zip start, guess what, boys? Geelong started 7 and zip in the AFL this season.
You're putting them positive, Alex.
So, well, look.
Daly Andrews is the one you're thinking of.
That's
I
it.
think. Daly Andrews.
Yes.
That's him.
That's him.
Yeah, look, I haven't seen Belmont Lions this season. I was impressed with North Geelong in round 2. Having Sam Jones back in the side, he was a key forward focal point last season, and from all reports, he did very well against, and I've just had a brain fade. Who'd Belmont have last week? Bannockburn.
Bannockburn.
So to go against Bannockburn's back six, have a decent return. That's your transition. You usually need those 2 weeks to get back into senior football. Lions are my tip, but credit to Peter Riccardi and North Geelong, and Bryce Brockenshaw, who was a very top junior, his first game in seniors since that win they had round 18 last year. So I hope he does well today.
Beautiful. Dale?
Yeah, look, I tend to agree. I think they will win again today.
At home?
I wouldn't say unpleasantly surprised, but I would say very surprised that they've been able to do what they've been able to do so far. Beaten Inverleaf, Premiers last year, beaten Thompson, who played off in the final against them. They've beaten Bannockburn now, and they've beaten, there was someone else pretty high up that they've also won.
Bannocky they beat.
But as I said, but they've not only done it at home, which I thought they are a better side at home, any time of the week, any time of the day, doesn't matter. But when they travel away, I thought that might have been their undoing. But they have been able to do it on the back of not just one or two blokes relied upon up forward, but they have got a number of players week in, week out. If they've got 15 goals, you might have 10 players kicking that 15 goals. So they're not relying upon one or two blokes. I agree. The bloke you mentioned before coming back into their senior side, we saw him at the day they played Anarchy at
played in the
Belmont,
twos, yep.
Sam Jones. And I said to Spider then, I said, I can't believe he was playing seconds because he's a big lump of a lad and he was a good footballer when we've seen him play previous years. So they're going along nicely. They've got some good blokes into their side. They've recruited very well. They provide a good lot of run. They team up very well. They're not missing too much at this stage from what we've seen. So I think they'll have just a little bit too much firepower for North Geelong today. North, is that at Belmont?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. I don't know whether North play that well down there. I've just got a feeling every time they go down there, they don't play that well. So it doesn't suit their style. But, yeah, look, Belmont at home for me.
Jones has come back at the right time because Ben Evans is out.
Okay.
Today. So Jones has come in, Evans is out. So just for those who want to listen at home, the reserves is all over. East Geelong 11-8-74 defeated Winchelsea 5-6-36. The last game before we hit this game, lads, we've got about 10 minutes before the game starts. Out at the Devil's Playground, all in one oval, Corio Football Netball versus the Geelong West Giants. So it's going to be an interesting game, Dale.
Oh, look, Thompson.
Thompson. Audio Grub.
Yeah,
It's all good. He's not here, guys.
Yeah,
he can breathe.
He'd be laughing. I can hear him laughing in the background already. I think Corio have started well. They always seem to start well, and it's been their problem after half time. But again, we don't want to harp on the Joel Bennett reliance in this side to get them up and going. But I think today they have a real opportunity to get themselves back on the winning board. They have got enough players up forward that can kick goals. Their defence is sound. As I said, I think it's sound. And West, for me, just haven't been playing good enough football for a long enough period of time. They're getting some players coming back into their senior side, which is good for them. So they will become more competitive. And obviously, the more games they play, they'll get some more fitness into their senior players. I still think they're probably one or two rounds away from getting those blokes playing really good football. So while they haven't got the confidence still, I'm going to take Corio at home because I think what I've seen of them so far, they've been okay. They've got Green back in their side now and doing some ruck work, which I think is really important. I would have still loved to see the other big bloke.
He's out injured. So Darren Bennett said something. He's out injured, so he's not back in the twos. He's out injured.
Is that
okay.
Aaron
Taylor?
Taylor,
yeah. So I would have liked to have seen the both of them in there because he's a pretty lightly built bloke, Green. So he's up against some good opposition, and I just think it's. Every now and then you just need that bloke to go in there instead of chucking in Jelinek or who else have they been throwing in there?
Anyone, basically.
Yeah, they just haven't got that backup that they really require. And so I think with Aaron Taylor back in that side, that gives them those two blokes. He only has to go in there for 10 or 15 minutes or even 5 minutes to give Green a bit of a cutout, get some wind back in his sails and then put him back into the game. So I think they win the game of football today. It won't be easy, but I think they're probably just playing a little bit better than Geelong West at this stage.
Mate?
Well,
Tick?
Prior to Geelong West's massive loss last week, they made 7 changes, and I think 2 of them came well. Harry Fraser and Aaron Hutchison, they won lots of the footy. So obviously the week before that, when you guys saw him against East, there were 2 key names that were missing.
Absolutely.
The other 5 that came in, though, I went through the stats. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm calling it as it is. They didn't really make too much of an impact last week. So at least Fraser and Hutchison back in the side. On the other side, I don't really look at the impact of midfielders as much in the first 9 rounds as I do leading into finals. But I have been following the narrative in this commentary box, and right before that draw against Inverleigh, Grubby said in this seat, Joel Bennett's here, Toby Bennett's here, but there is a big gap and he needs those other guys to step up. None of us could have forecasted what happened to Joel. We know he's listening. We hope he's doing well there. But you look at those names, Matt James, Jack Hall, they were the next kind of in line. The one that really impressed me watching a bit of the footage last week, though, was Logan Dixon. So 20 contested touches, 29 all up. I don't know a lot about him. You guys have watched him more, but...
Are you number 5?
Yep.
Well, there's the answer to the call you guys made 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, you're 5th, you're 6th, you're 7th midfielder. Now they're like, you know what, guys? Now's my time to step up, and he did that for Corio. Corio's going to be my tip.
Toby's captain. Jack Hall is vice captain.
Yep.
And Darren was very... So speaking to Darren on radio yesterday, Darren was very strong when Joel come back. He was their number one target, get Jack Hall back from Bell Park.
Right.
And they did it. And obviously Joel coming back made it a little bit easier. Darren said he did try the year before when he was coaching on his own, but he was the one they wanted. So I said, as I said yesterday, you've got a level-headed bloke now as captain and a pest as vice-captain. That's what you need. And Jack Hall is a pest. He's just an in-and-under tough nut who just keeps getting the ball, doesn't he, Dale?
Yeah, no, he keeps finding he's a good footballer. They just said their smaller brigade's good. They're not small either, by the way.
No, we thought they were.
Yeah, when you wander out. I walked out here before as a reserve game, and half those blokes out there tower over top of me. So I don't know whether I'm getting older and getting shorter, but I thought I was quite a big bloke when I played football, but obviously not.
Yep. Now, Spider, I might even get you to just turn around to the camera for a second, because while we touch on Corio, you've got the all-in-one beanie, and we did see throughout the week, Tuesday, you sat with Joel Bennett.
I did.
Tell us, how's he going? And I really want to know how he's going mentally.
Look, mate, I'll tell you, I was surprised. I went out to see Linda and grabbed the beanie, and she said, "Oh, are you going to come over and see the boy?" I said, "Oh, is he here?" She said, "Oh, there he is over there. He's sitting in the wheelchair. Obviously, he's not allowed to do a lot of walking, but his mindset was unbelievable.
Yep.
You know, he's chomping at the bit to get up and about. Obviously, being at his age, you still want to be out there playing and whatever. He's chomping at the bit to do everything. I just want to be there, want to get out there. Linda said, "Well, that's not happening." He said, "Oh, it's 12 weeks, so it's round 7 and I'm back." And the look on Linda's face was one of, "I'm going to put him over my knee and belt him in a minute." But he's ticking off little targets as he goes. The first target obviously was to get home. Mm-hmm. The second target is 4 weeks. The 4-week X-rays to see how it's all healing. And then once that goes, he said he can slowly increase what he does. He can go do a bit of swimming, light swimming and walking in water, and do a bit more of that physical activity just to get him out and about. I mean, it'd be no fun sitting in a wheelchair stuck at home, or just walking around little bits at home with a neck brace on 24/7. Although it is very, very cute. His young son does have a neck brace and wears it round with him. So wherever he wears the neck brace round, and they sit at, they've got a little table they put there for Joel, so the little bloke sits with him and has his neck brace on, eats tea with Dad. But his mindset, mate, is unbelievable. It is unbelievably positive. I do believe he had an incident against Thompson where they wouldn't let him on the bench because he's in the wheelchair. But the league have now stepped in and said, "Okay, but it's got to be in a safe zone." Because obviously he can't move. I mean, for me, I'd be sitting over the fence anyway, right next to the box. That'd be me. That's not Joel. So you are out of the way. And the wheelchair, it's got these little wheels on it, mate. It's almost like a billy cart. But his mindset, mate, is unbelievable. The positive words he had to say about the crew out there, and the way people have stood up over the last 18 months, but especially the last sort of 2 weeks since he's gone down. He was bitterly disappointed last week. He said it wasn't like Thompson outplayed us. We stopped at quarter time. He said it was just, and he said it is frustrating. He said, but I know I can't go in and get really frustrated and start throwing the body around because I'm going to damage myself again. But Dale did ask me before whether he'd play again. Yes, he's dead set certain, all things being well with his health. Yep. If everything heals right, he will play again. Mm-hmm. So it is fantastic news. He's still involved. Someone wheeled him out onto the track on Tuesday night after I had a chat to him for a while. But yeah, so he's in good spirits. Quickly before we go on to this one, the field umpires have come out. Toby Sargent, Errol Burns, Tim Callender in the centre. Max Drake, Ruben Elliott, Charlie Smith, Xavier Monaghan on the boundary. Julie Ford and Nate Patrick doing the goal umpires. All right, boys, today's all-important game. Who wins and why? We've got 3 minutes, lads.
East Geelong, because they've been doing it well, and Winchelsea need to show me more.
Right. That was absolutely... mate, I can't add any more than that.
The numbers say Winch are a contender because they're 4th best percentage, 4th best defensively, but then you look at East's form from round 2, 49-point win, 4-point win, 31-point win, 37, 88 and 97. They're going for their 7th straight win, and they've got a good bond. If you saw, they had retro jumper night this week, so they all learnt a bit about each other's history, and I love seeing that in local footy.
Nothing beats cry, does it, Dale? 50-metre penalties.
Yeah, no, haircuts, there's some shockers out there
Herschel
already.
Carr had to train and dress.
I was there that night.
50.
I got yelled at for filming them.
There was a bloke, the bloke standing on the bench in the twos, mate, had one of the... mate, I thought I had some bad haircuts growing up. This was horrid. What was going on, mate? He goes, I gave away 50 last week, and they spin a box or whatever it is. You got to put your hand in a box, and whatever comes out, that's what you got to do, which is fantastic. The Sir Eric Nichols clock is here. Grubby, you'd be relieved to know that. Al, do you want to lead the intro for first quarter, please, mate?
The introduction. So, this is...
Not you.
The first quarter.
Brought to you by
yeah.
Morris Finance.
Talk about a stitch up. My heart is racing.
We do it to Grubby, mate. All right, folks, we're nearly ready to go here. East Geelong will be kicking towards the Swanson Street end, or I suppose the Kadinga Park end.
Yep, that's
it. And Winchelsea won't be. So
Queenscliff Road end.
Queenscliff Road end. We're just a couple of, probably a minute or so away from the start. I think the ground looks pretty clear. Umpire's just looking for that red light again, mate. I don't know why. It's not AFL, mate. We don't have ads here. So I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm not too sure. Time to tick over. I think he's looked at his clock. It's 1:59. That's probably why. 2 o'clock's good enough. Just ring the siren. Just get
we started at
over.
1:57 last week, mate. So, but Al, we've been blessed with the umpire in the last couple of rounds, mate. It's been absolutely fantastic. Last 2 or 3 games we've covered. So we're ready to go, Dale. Hand over to you, my friend.
Looks like he's got the ignition from the clock there. It's smiled at him and he said, "Let's go, boys." Ball has been put in the air. Umpire says, let's start this game. Morris doing the ruck work up against Sobey, and both ruckmen will go at it. This time the ball actually hits the ground, picked up by Sobey at ground level. Handball goes outside into the hands of Bartel out wide. Over the top, Marcus taken out there by Henry. Henry handballs away, now goes to Parrish. That's Finn on the half-back line. Kick wasn't great. Player taken over the boundary line quickly, and a boundary line throw will take place in between the two coaches' boxes here. So Sobey pushing forward, as I said, Morris also doing the ruck work. Out the back, ball comes through. Brown tries to force his way through, left the ball behind. Again, went back to Bartel. He left it behind. Picked up there by Berg. On the right, Berg goes round the corner. O'Connell again couldn't trap the ball before it went over. And another throw-in will take place similar to the last. So Ruckman with the ball now. Sorry, Ruckman going at the ball. Sobey again gets the ball down to Brown. Opposition player, but he was tackled immediately by Osselbrook, and the umpire in quickly. A ball up taking place. Centre wing far side over the shoulder. Free kick going to Winchelsea side, and this is Morris. So Morris now just defensive side of his centre wing will kick to the centre wing. Kick wasn't that bad. Mark was not taken out there. I think that might have been Marnicky. And its ball's gone back over the boundary line once again. So we'll have another throw which will take place.
Up the ground, Marnicky this week.
Yeah, he played defensive last week, didn't he? Change around, so the ball thrown back in again by the umpire. Again, Sobey hands the ball down. McIntyre went after it, got the handball outside. Under the hands there of Cassidy Parrish. He got the ball back inside, so they win possession. Went to Finn Parrish right in the middle of the ground. He was tackled. Did he have it? Umpire said no, he didn't. Free kick will go to Finn Parrish. Pretty much centre of the ground here at East Geelong, so he's looking to drive the ball into their forward line. He goes out wide, club rim side. Out towards McConnell. Mark not taken out there. Front of the contest. Picked up Marnicky. Left boot. Smothered off the boot. Picked up by Mars. He was tackled immediately. And again, no prior opportunity there. So we'll have a ball up which will take place inside the half forward line there. East Geelong's attacking in. 2 minutes gone. Neither side have scored.
Slow start to the game here. So just outside the forward 50. Looks like Parrish is going to do the ruck work against Sobey. Sobey uses his body, pushes Parrish out of the way. Ball falls at the back of the pack. Quick kick into, not going to quite go inside the forward 50, or the bounce does take it that way. Mars picks up the ball, gets dispossessed straight away. Falls in the hands of Monaghan. Monaghan goes out wide looking for Lowe. He fumbles first. back on the second attempt, gives the ball to McLaughlin. McLaughlin puts the afterburners onto the speed, looks down the line, doesn't find his teammate here, bit of support around, ball falls to Welsh. Welsh just was there straight away, picked up now by Billy Andrew. Handball's out wide to Zimmer, not a great handball. Zimmer's quick enough to get back to it, finds time, goes to Mulville. Mulville now on the left foot. Plenty of time down there looking for Smith. It's 3-on-1. The ball punched away very, very well there by Budavalis. Falls to Cassidy Parrish. He chips ball to O'Connell, who's on his own in the middle. So Shane O'Connell now goes wide out to Rouget. Rouget has plenty of space here, but Osabrook does very, very well to cut that down. Quick gets a handball over the top. Leading with the ball now out to Lowe. Lowe with the handball runs around onto the left, but finds time to actually swing onto the right. Goes long down the line. But only finds Brown. Brown, oh, not a great kick. Hits the deck, but done well there. Handball up again. So Winch working their way out of trouble, out towards Parrish. Parrish tries to protect the ball, take the chest mark. Ball stays in. Gets the handball across to his brother Finn. Finn Parrish now driving Winch forward. That's almost a great one-handed grab, but Sobey does well on the ground, picks the ball up. Goes to Monaghan again. He's tackled, brought to ground. Ball spills free now. Trying to take the ball out of bounds. Didn't work, but in the end it has in front of Tim Lee and Finn Parrish, who followed down his work. So we'll have a boundary line throw-in right in front of the netball courts here at East Geelong. We've gone 4 minutes. Morris Finance first quarter, still no score on the board.
So we've got Ruckman going out at Maloney this time, doing some more forward work this time against Sobey. Ball does come to ground again. East Geelong with some numbers, but Maloney tried to run out of there with one hand. It picked up there by Brown. He goes long back towards the goals. Going to sit pretty close to the line, but going back, Mark taken out there this time by Fanning. So Fanning plays on quickly, goes out wide to McLaughlin. Put him under pressure. Good work there from Marnicky. Into the hands now of Monaghan. Goes inside to Lowe. Lowe back to the running player in McLaughlin. Into the middle he looks, and that's a great kick coming up as Ezard. Ezard takes the mark. He's going to go back to that player. I thought he was. Changed his mind now. Went inside to Zimmer. He comes back outside to Sam Lowe. Grubbies would have got 3 votes already by now. And goes into their forward line, and the mark will be taken out there by Huff. So the Hoff now has got the ball outside there, forward 50. Smith was positioning to where he wants the ball kicked to. Now he changes his mind, goes back towards the goal square. That's where the ball's heading in that direction. He's going to be a bit of a task there, but Ezard came across, couldn't clunk the mark. Bent back to Smith, got the handball back to Mulville. On the right boot, goes back towards goal, and I tell you what, he has just missed. And it's a first score of the afternoon. Austin Mulville has that score. So it's one behind East Geelong. And Winchelsea are yet to score 5.5 minutes gone. Morris Finance first quarter scoreboard.
Ball back in the hands of Cassidy Parrish, goes out wide. Handball's running it out of fence now is Berg. Has a bounce, looks up, goes long down the line here. Looking for Gemmell. Gemmell flies, can't take it. At the back, Fanning brings the ball to ground. Players diving in now. Pack forms. Umpires picked out a free kick for holding the man. It's going to Winch. So I thought it was Marnicky for a sec, but he's going off the ground. So free kick in the hands of Freeman. Freeman goes short with his kick. Does well. Lands in the hands of Timms now. So Timms was very good last week. Comes back in looking for Finn Parrish. Doesn't let him down. So just off his half-back flank, he goes short. Finds Freeman again. Quick hands out to Morris. Morris in trouble. Does well to get around. Throws it on the left foot. Goes long down the line. No one home here for Winch. But Kersop Cole does close the space very, very well. Running through there was King. King does well for East Geelong. Turns around. Short options. Chooses not to use them, then goes short. And wrong option. Out of bounds it goes with a boundary line throw in. Right on the 50-metre line, Winchelsea into attack. Ben Crombie's been. Yes, you got something to say?
Well, I was just going to say, Ben Crombie, you beat me to it by a nanosecond. He was the player to watch from the coach. And, yeah, I've had my focus on East Geelong's forward line, how they're going to attack. But in the middle, they're looking very good.
Yeah. So Sobey wins that one down. Over to probably the second 3 votes already with McIntyre goes long down the line. But Henry does really well, relieving Mark. Goes over to Budavalis, who goes out wide there looking for Cook. Ball evades more. McLaughlin pace. Runs around, picks it up, goes one way or the other. Handballs back into Monaghan. Monaghan now with a bit of space. Has time to use the ball. Goes down the line. Probably not the greatest option. Could have been a free kick there.
Should have been a free kick.
And the umpire said no.
Yeah, no.
The umpire down here has paid it. So, yes. So at least they got it right in the end, Dale. It was a clear free kick there. Up before acceptances. So now Short kick down the line here. Leading players going over the head of everyone. And McIntyre steps in and says, I'll have that. So John McIntyre for East Geelong in front of the social rooms here. Just on half-back. Went to go. Didn't go. And he decides to go short again. So another short kick on here. It's nice. It's into the hands of Crombie, who spills what he should have taken. So chance for Finn Parrish to repel. Nice kick long, but Sobey stands his ground, takes a great mark. Quick handball. East Geelong moving the ball nicely. Looking down through the middle here, looking for Billy Andrew. Andrew does exceptionally well, picks it up. Players running past, gets a great little handball out. Nice one there in front of McLaughlin again, who has not stopped running yet. And look at this, time, space. And he puts the ball into the hands of Connor McKinnon. McKinnon goes short and finds Mulville about 30 metres out, directly in front. That's the East Geelong we've come to know, Dale.
Yes, some good quick move at Spider.
And McLaughlin, Grubby Spooner, not here, mate. He's a lot of good little bursts already. So, Austin Mulville, as we said in the pre-game, is currently second on the goal kicking in the Geelong District Football League. He has 23, I think, Mr. Degani.
But only one last week, so
Only
this could
one.
be the start of a few this afternoon.
Beautiful kick of the footy normally. Sure. And we've put the commentator's curse on him. Maybe that's when he's going the back line again. So, Austin Mulville has his second behind. East Geelong second behind. They are two behinds, leading Winchelsea score, 9 minutes score, and Morris Finance first quarter.
Well, you feel for him because just as he dropped the ball, then you could hear the Cardinia Park siren. So I don't know if that might have had any effect on his kick.
So Finn Parrish brings the ball in, so they move the ball to the half-back line. Winchelsea, and they go back now towards centre wing. McKinnon's up. Again, didn't take the mark, gets through the contest. Maloney had it and lost it. Goes to Brown, I think. He was tackled, and it's been held up now. So East Geelong be able to set around. Actually, it was Freeman that actually had that then. So the ball now with the umpire. Again, just attacking side of centre wing for East Geelong. Ball from the ruck contest goes out towards Brown. He goes after it. Unfortunately, had it, lost it, then went back and collected it again. Did nicely, got the ball outside. So Winchelsea had the possession of the ball. Free kick's been given for a hold by the looks of it. So they will retain possession of the ball from just defensive side of centre wing now. They look to bring the ball into their forward line. They go long. Some tall options down there. Mark again not taken. Ball comes to ground. Coming through is Low. Also after it was Ellis, but he was taken a little bit high, I would have thought, and he's going to win a free kick for that reason. So Lee Ellis had 4 goals, I think, last week. Got him early. He's got 3 in the first, I think, too.
Had 3 by this time, Dale.
Yeah, so he went short this time. Went towards Gould. He couldn't take the mark. Ball runs out. Picked up by Timms. He picked it up and put it down. Tackled again. Not too sure whether he disposed of that correctly. Now into the hands of Cook, is it?
Yep.
And he was tackled again. An umpire said that was high. So they're winning some free kicks, the Winchelsea side. So he's going to go back now and look at the first real opportunity for the Winchelsea team. We tick over just over 10.5 minutes. Aaron Cook. So a kick of about 40 metres required here. Steps in, kicks it goal. Umpire hasn't moved too far.
Oh.
He likes it, and they have their first. Winchelsea take the lead. They move to 1 straight goal, leading East Geelong, who are 2 behinds. We've gone 11 minutes. Morris Finance first quarter scoreboard.
Well, now it's the right of reply for East Geelong. So in the last 3 weeks, they've played 3 different full forwards for the opening 10 minutes to see who's the best option deep. This is one of the big games they need to work out, right? How do we take on their last line of defence? There, of course, I'm saying Michael Bordavalis and, of course, Harry Nagel, the new impact fullback for Winchelsea. But they haven't had a lot of opportunity, just the 2 behinds the Eagles, so something tells me they'll capitalise off this clearance.
So the ball in the middle now. McKinnon goes in against Maloney. Maloney wins that one down, but only as far as Bartel. Bartel's handball chopped off by Freeman. Freeman drives Winchlong again, looking for Gould. Doesn't quite get there. Ball hits the deck now. Picked up again. Is that Cook again with the ball? Does well. Monaghan overruns it. He's got support with him, though. So the hands come across from Freeman looking for... Fanning now goes out to Lowe. Lowe's chopped off by O'Connell. O'Connell runs out of room according to the umpire. And I'll tell you what, he kicked it as well. So
Finished nicely.
Yeah, had to run out of room there. We might have had I don't know who the sponsor is today for the goal of the day. I'm sure Alex will come up with something.
We might recruit a new sponsor. If we just say it's them, they'll have to pay up. What do you reckon?
Yeah, if it only worked that way, mate. If only it worked that
Darryl
way.
will be happy with that.
Yeah, well, he would be.
You'll get a text, but it'll go straight to Grubby.
Yeah, I think it's Grubby. So the ball now being retrieved and returned. It's about 30 metres round from the the Winchelsea goal. So he's Winch 1 goal 6, leading East Geelong 2 behind. 12.5 gone so far, Morris, first quarter here at Richmond Crescent. So the ball bat is thrown back in by the umpire. You've got McKinnon, who just uses his body, pushes it out, but done well there by O'Connell, but dropped it when he should have finished up with it. Oswald goes long, his kiss, or went to go long, his kick smothered, falls in the hands of Lowe. Monahan now with time, comes down the line, it looks like a 3-on-1. Ball falls to the Huff, had it, lost it, and your mate Bailey Cale to get the free kick here, Dale. So Bailey Cale now chips it in short. That's nice to Berg. Cale runs past looking for the ball, but he's ignored. Berg turns around, throws on the right foot. Not a great kick. McKinnon does very, very well. Runs through, gets the ball out of Alsterbrook. He goes back to Lee, who goes back to Monahan. Monahan just chips the ball way back here. So to Mars. Mars turns around, goes club room side of the ground here. It's a nice looking kick. Finds Sam Lowe. So Lowe right in front of the social rooms here.
3 votes.
Chip short over again. Yes, it will be to Zimmer. Zimmer goes to handball to McLaughlin, misses, but has time to pick it back up. Goes into Monahan again, who now goes to McLaughlin. McLaughlin for East Geelong, looking to drive him forward, pushing out wide towards the coach's box. That's a fantastic grab there by Mulville. Mulville swings onto that trusty left foot, goes long down the line. Too much on it for Huff, but he has time to recover, picks the ball up, and something's happened here. There's been a push paid to Winch, as East Geelong were probably looking at another option to kick and goal, but has turned it over now. So, umpire calls it back again. Is it Kersop Cole with the ball, Dale?
Yep.
It is. I was just looking at the boot. So, Kersop Cole now with the free kick deep in defence for Winch. Just chips one up long down the line. Players fly, falls over the back of the pack. Picked up there by Freeman, who does really well to get their handball out into space. Battle on here between Monahan and Marnicky. Marnicky got the support that he needed. Ball is handballed over the top, goes completely erratically, but picked up there by Dixon. Dixon moves the ball forward again, but chopped off again by Winch. So doing a lot of good work here. Kick forward there by Rouget. Oh, but that's fantastic coming through. Big chance there by for Freeman to trip the ball out. Gives it out to Lowe. Lowe finds plenty of space out here. So running with the ball now is Lowndes. Lowndes goes long down the line. 2-on-1 against Hoff. Hoff does really well on the ground. Gets it back. Handballs back to Lowndes. Looking forward further. That's good work. Finds Ezard, who goes on the left foot. No, sorry, it's Mulville. Goes on the left foot. Centering kick. Nark not taken there. Hit the ground. Crombie runs around. Picks it up on the right foot. He's got Ezard in the square, but it doesn't need him. So Benny Crombie gets East Geelong's first for the day. They move to 1-2-8, leading Winch, who are one straight kick. We have gone 15.5. Morris Finance, first quarter.
I just love the composure from Mulville there. I thought he'd just grab it, go, get towards the pocket and try and square someone up. But he's got that composure. And after 50 senior games, you've earned that right to do that. You know what I mean? It was the positional change that has probably boosted East Geelong's chances of a premiership. Gone forward, 5 goals on in the season opener, and he's probably got 2 goal assists or 2 scoring assists already to start this match.
Yep.
So back in the middle. Looks like McKinnon's going to continue to do the ruck work up against Maloney. Ball comes from the contest. Picked up again. Crombie going to put East Geelong straight back into attack. Henry leads in the race for the ball. Kept it in front of himself. Headed towards the boundary line, and that's where it's going to go. Umpire will say, let's throw it back in. Again, far side of the ground, in between the 2 coaches' boxes again.
Even when we had the wind blowing this way, Dale, the ball wasn't over, was it?
No, they don't like it this side of the ground, Spider. We've always said if we go the other side, it's going to come back. So this is Parrish with the ball, and that's Cassidy, goes into their half-forward line. Mark again, not taken out there. Mars comes through, picks the ball up, got support out the back. Monahan to Lowe. Lowe again on the right boot, goes back into the middle of the ground looking for, and we'll find King. So King is going to move the ball quickly. Player leading up is Mulville again. Good hands. Runner outside, and that's Lowndes. Uses him quickly. Into the forward line they go. It's going to be Hoff picks the ball up, goes on the back on the right foot, looks at his options, squares it up, kick, didn't hit the target, picked up out there now. Berg got the handball away. Budavalis over the top. Mark will be taken out there, and they will settle things down. That's through Nagel. So Nagel now with a little opportunity to steady things down for Winchelsea. Decides to go quickly now towards centre wing. Kick wasn't great. Ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in not too far away from where we sit. Thank goodness.
Far away.
And I'll continue. Thank you, Spider.
It's right here. It's in the Boxdale.
Well, he's actually up there a bit. I thought he was. He's given him a bit of ground here to Winchelsea. So, and it doesn't matter. I like the viewing spot from where I'm sitting. Ball from the ruck contest comes out. Maloney had it. Goes into the hands of Crombie. Couldn't pick it up cleanly. Now picked up by Cook. Kick was smothered, goes back into the hands of Crombie again. Puts East Geelong back into attack. Mark required, mark not taken. There's a free kick being given. Umpire said there was a hold. Looks like it's going to go to East Geelong, and Lowndes will be the recipient. So, actually, no, going back this time with the ball, it's Simmons or Simons, and he goes short. Kick is okay. Zimmer. So he's now going to deliver the ball longer into their forward line. Henry there, stands in the hole, didn't take the mark, or didn't complete it. Osselbrook picks it up, snaps it, goal, and that is a pretty good finish from the coach. He has his first goal of the afternoon, and the second now for East Geelong. They move to 2-2. Winchelsea are one straight goal. 18 minutes gone. Morris Finance first quarter scoreboard.
Well, you go back to this throw in, and I was actually going to put the Moz on Ned, but I ended up putting it on myself. Didn't go near the ball, didn't even see a Shepherd, and then 30 seconds later kicks the goal of the day contender. So there you have it, East Geelong. They're back on board. A slow 5 minutes, but nice, handy 8-point lead as we head towards the first break.
Well, after last week, mate, some of the quarters went a lot longer than I thought they would, didn't they? The first quarter was about 34 minutes. There was 2 goals kicked. Anyway, back in the middle, Sobey and Maloney. There's been infringement here. Umpire has blown a whistle and said it's going to be a free kick to Winch. So Maloney to take the free kick in the centre of the ground, moves the ball very, very quickly. Berg has been held up here. He goes out wide looking for Finn Parrish. Now Parrish, about 75 from his own goal, spears a pass here, and that's a fantastic fist by Dixon. It only goes back to Berg. Berg's kick smothered, falls in the hands of Freeman. Has it stolen by Mars. Now they're sharing it, wrap it up. Now Paul will ball the ball up. Right on the 50-metre line in front of the social rooms here. Winchelsea attacking end of the ground.
Was he saying the water ball was in the square then, or was he...
I don't know, mate. I missed it. It could have been. Anyway, ball goes in the air now. Tap back down, falls into the hands of Cassidy Parrish. He has time now out to Welsh. Welsh lines ball up, looking towards the direction of Gould, but Fanning takes a relieving mark at the back of the pack here. So he chips the ball in, looking for Mars. So Mars 25 out from his own goal, just slowing things down a little bit here to East Geelong. Just looking for their targets. Come this way out, that'd be great. No, he doesn't. He goes Clubber inside again, but that's probably a better option. So just maintaining possession at the moment. Quick handball through to Dixon. Under a bit of pressure now, but he has time, stops and props, turns himself around looking for Lowe. It's a great kick, but Rouget done very, very well to come across. Get it down. Falls in the hands of Cassidy Parrish again. Just drives Winch forward, looking for Gould again. Tim Lee, as he's done all year, comes from behind, punches the ball down. Cook done really well, roving the pack. Couldn't control the ball. We'll have another boundary line throw-in right in front of the netball courts here. Winchelsea attacking. 20.5 minutes score. Morris Finance first quarter. So 8 points the margin. East Geelong in front. So Maloney and Sobey. Sobey works to the front and does really well. Handball over top, lands in the hand of McIntyre. McIntyre goes out to Lowe. Short. That could be a free kick, but no, the umpire said it was in the contest. Picked up by Parrish. Handball does really well. Gets the ball back himself again. Goes over to Freeman, who's tackled, but breaks that well. Berg, quick kick into the hot spot. In front. Picked the ball up, but couldn't quite finish his hard work was Maloney. Ball spills free now. Handball out. Finn Parrish with time. Tackled straight away. Umpire said no prior opportunity. Lowndes does really well. Feeds it out to Monahan, who's wrapped up in a brilliant tackle there by Nagel. Ball spills free again now out of bounds. In front of the scoreboard here at East Geelong, Richmond Crescent. So 21 minutes, Morris Finance. He can't have paid deliberate. It's in the tackle. He didn't pay dropping the ball a second ago. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Nagel with the free kick. Plays on immediately, runs around. Looks to drop this one just outside the front of the goal square. It's a great kick. Players fly. No one really gets a fist to it. Ball punched forward again. Picked up by Bartel. Bartel handballs over the top. Releases the runner in McLaughlin. McLaughlin drives out wide here looking for Ezard. Budavalis did really well. Brought the ball to ground. He has support there in Welsh, but Ezard kept fighting. Ball spills free now. Handball over the top again. Now Winch have a chance to run it. Quick handball to Kersop Cole. Had too much on it. King come through. Couldn't take it with him. Lowndes the same. Probably held without the ball. The umpire seen it that way and said it was a trip. They're very willing through the middle here. Fast pace, what we like to see. So Lowndes with the ball now. As McIntyre out wide, ignores it. That's a shocking kick, but falls in the hands of Zimmer. Zimmer now finds Lowe. Around centre forward now for East Geelong. He drives the ball out wide looking for Smith. Smith protects the space and takes a fantastic grab right in front of the cricket nets here at Richmond Crescent. So Zach Smith. Tight angle. About 35 out from goal, and as we've seen in recent weeks, Dale, anything's possible.
With this bloke, absolutely.
So last week he kicked 6 goals. 5 of them were from little plays like this where he just outsmarted his opponent, got that bungee cord and went back for 30 seconds.
The bungee cord. So Zach Smith coming in now. Very deliberate approach. He has pushed that right across the face of goal. Not great. Won't even score. Ezard leads in the race. The ball turns his opponent round. Handballs the ball over to Bartel. Bartel on the boundary line. Chips it back in and finds Simons, who kicks the easiest goal of the day and probably the easiest we'll see all day. So East Geelong go to 3-2-20, leading Winch. One straight kick. We've ticked over 23 minutes. Morris Finance, first quarter.
Well, I was questioning whether they were going to go with Hoff, Smith, or Mulvihill deep forward. They've been experimenting. Turns out, with a half-forward line like this, it really doesn't matter the way they're moving. I thought Winchelsea had one of the best half-back lines in the competition. That was evident the first 5 minutes, but East Geelong just taking that 14-point lead at this stage of the game.
Back with the umpire now, Morris and Sobey, as we started the game, are back in doing the ruck work. Morris up over the top, got a good jump, out to Cassidy Parish, handballs inside, Maloney. McConnell, that's right. Now it's outside. McLaughlin, he's got the ball, he goes into their half-forward line. Ball gets over the back, trapped there by foot by Walsh has got the ball now, in the hands now. It goes to Nagel, and the ball is being fiddled around on the half-back line. Sobey's positioned himself very nicely there, and he wins possession of the ball, takes the mark, and then will transfer play outside. Out by himself is Crombie. Over the top they go short again. McIntyre in space. He swings on the left boot, looks at his left boot, looks at his options, goes long into the forward line, but sitting back there, Finn Parish, he takes the mark, transfers play across the ground, has 2 out there, but the kick wasn't great. Lowe nearly got his hand in on the ball. Ends up in the hands there of Timms, who kicks round the body, goes looking for Cassidy Parish. Mark will be taken just inside defensive 50. So he will settle things down there for the Winchelsea side. Looking at his option, he's going to go out towards centre wing. Player out there by himself. Mark taking it there. Is it Cursup Cole again? No, might be Berg, is it?
No, I think you're right. First time.
Cursup Cole.
Yep.
So he's got the ball, far side. Yes, it is. Kicks in. Kick was low and flat, but unfortunately not to the hands of Brown. Ends up in the hands of Valley Mars. Gets around the oncome player, got the handball away, puts Sobey under a little bit of pressure, goes into the hands now of King. King goes back outside to Mars, and off a step, kicks the ball back into their half-forward line. Morris came at the ball, didn't quite trap the ball fully, but the ball sits now into the hands of Henry, gives the handball back, and Walsh, his short kick. Some pretty ordinary skills there at the moment. Umpires call the play on now. Crombie ends up with it. His kick's not much better. Back into the hands of Morris of Winchelsea. Handball's back inside to Finn Parish. Left boot, round the body, goes back towards centre wing. Spore from behind. Player tackled, ball to ground, and umpire says, let's have a ball up. As we tick over 25.5 minutes, it is East Geelong 3-2, Winchelsea 1 Soldier goal.
A little bit uninspiring at the moment, Dale.
Yes, a bit of ordinary bit of play there from both sides.
Anyway, ball in the air. Sobey uses his body, wins that one down, taps it over to McIntyre. McIntyre to Crombie. Crombie, quick kick forward, looking for Mulville. He comes from behind, punches the ball. Ball falls to Cursup Cole. Couldn't quite trap it. Tried to tap it to Parish. Ends up in Finn Parish's hands. He boots the ball along to Gould. Done well to keep the ball in front of himself. Picked up there by Simons for Winch. He drives in long. Ball punched the ground. Now he picked it up there by Marnicky. Marnick feeds a handball out to O'Connell. He's wrapped up by Sobey immediately. No one going anywhere when Sobey gets hold of you. He's another big unit. So we'll have a ball up at 60 metres out from the Winchelsea goal here. They've done a fair bit of the attacking, but haven't rewarded themselves. So Sobey wins that one down to Crombie. Crombie's just dealt with after the play. One of the umpires did see that, and will give the free kick to Ben Crombie, who started pretty slowly, but has worked his way into it. So Crombie now sizing up his options. Has Fanning here in the middle. So Fanning, true centre half back. He'll swing the ball wide out here. That's a nice looking kick to McKinnon. McKinnon gets the ball moving quickly towards McLaughlin, but it doesn't really matter. The 27-minute mark ticks over. The siren has gone. So he's East Geelong 3-2, leading Winch, one behind. Dale, can you have some goal kickers, please, mate?
Yes, this stage of the game, Crombie, Simons and Osselbrook for the East Geelong side. Their solitary goal from Winchelsea was Aaron Cook. Take a short break, come back. Second quarter action, not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And welcome back here to Richmond Crescent. I'm just trying to think of the actual name of the oval here. It's AusWide Plumbing and Civil Oval. It's nearly as long as the one they have at Thompson these days. Around the grounds where we get some comments from Alex Tagani. Inverleigh 32 leading Anarchy 15. Both same sort of scoring shots. Bannockburn 5-3-33 and Belpost still 1-1-7. So Bannockburn kicked with a 16-goal wind up there. It's fine everywhere else. Werribee Central's 2 goals, 6-18 leading Thompson 3 behinds. Belmont 1-1-7 leading North Geelong 1 solitary goal. Corio 4-7-31 leading Geelong West 2-1-13. Of course 3-2-20 to 1 goal here East Geelong in front. Tig, what'd you make of the first quarter, mate?
Well, look, I just thought East Geelong's midfield were on top when it mattered most, and that justifies their 14-point lead. Leading into this match, I really wanted to focus on who were going to be the matchups on the Cardinia Park end, which will now be to the left of screen. East Geelong's attacking end, spread of goal kickers, as we probably anticipated. Winchelsea, I've noted they've had poor starts. They've had poor starts against Thompson in round 1, Bannockburn round 2, but had a very good second quarter against the Tigers under lights. Poor start against North Geelong, poor start against Belmont in round 6. They've only got the 1 goal. I'm not too concerned on the Blues at this stage. I think Finn Parrish has been fantastic as just that player 1 kick behind the play. Bordevalis playing on Smith for the very start of that. I thought he did a great matchup because I actually anticipated Harry Nagel, their fullback, to play on Smith and Bordevalis to go to one of their forward pockets. So did well there. Obviously Smith took the mark, but well, let's just hope he was going for a goal assist from that pocket. I'm not too sure who the forward line coach is, although I caught up with one assistant at East Geelong during the week, Jeremy Power. Shout out to him. But my best so far for East Geelong this week is the one and only Christine O'Leary after that beautiful steak sanger on Thursday night. Overall team performance for the Eagles. We'll look at the best 3 or 4 players we approach the main break. Dale.
Well, I'm going to say Ben Crombie's got 3. It's as simple as that. Mrs. Crombie's just rocked up here with some pumpkin biscuits made by a couple of American basketballers they have living with them at the moment. So doesn't matter what happens here. John McIntyre can get 75 votes and touches, and Dale will still give Benny Crombie 3 for that.
My word, and they are very nice too. I can tell you that.
They are very nice. So yes, that's happened. Mrs. Crombie said, "Please don't say it. I'll give Ben plenty for it." And guess what? We've said it. They're going to give him plenty for it.
That's it. The coach Ned Osselbrook, he did say Crombie was one of the best players last week.
I know why now.
That is definitely a factor. But I tell you what, around the stoppages, he was first to the footy. I don't know if he's got the grippo on today, but he was looking pretty good.
He's always pretty clean with his hands, mate. And I mean, there was rumours that he was leaving East Geelong at the end of last season. They obviously didn't come to fruition. And I think one of our viewers said a couple of weeks ago, it looks like he'd been shot. Both his knees had shot, and then next week he was best on ground. So yeah, he's got the Jimmy Stein's recovery powers by the look of it. But no, he's a very, very good young footballer, mate. So East Geelong got a few of them.
Now, Winchelsea's midfielder, I just said that when we were off air, Cassidy Parrish, first time I've seen him, he's found plenty of the footy when it comes to the stats side of things, but looks like he was a bit sore. You guys saw a hit on him last week, so was it an impactful one? We'll wait and see the next 3 quarters.
We will.
So umpire has put the ball in the air and Ruckman will go at it once again. Sobey this time gets the ball down. Cassidy Parrish first to arrive with the ball now. Looks up, goes into their half-forward line. Kick towards centre half-forward. Mark will not taken over the back. Markey tapped the ball forward coming through. Picked up by McLaughlin into the hands of Monahan. Monahan's kick wasn't great coming off the boot. Went towards centre wing. Tackle was laid straight away there by Crombie. Oh, nice tackle, Benny Crombie.
4 votes.
And the umpire says, let's give it back to me, and we'll have a ball up, which will take place. So the ball thrown up quickly by the umpire. This time I think Morris gets the ball down again. Osselbrook is held up very quickly. Umpire to come in and repeat the throw up as he's just done. And again, Ruckman go at it again. Out the back this time. Out towards Parrish, fends off, goes with the right hand and goes long into the boot. Mark not taken down there. Good spoil from behind at ground level. Ball not quite picked up as yet. Still sits on the ground. Picked up and cleared away by Lee outside. Again, good strong tackle out there, and that was by Ellis. And the ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in, which will take place inside forward 50. Winchelsea again doing some early attacking.
Well, boys, after my comment, Cassidy Parish has had a centre clearance and an inside 50. He's probably going to get 50 touches now, so there you have it.
Just push Crombie out of the way.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. Okay, it wasn't great. The umpire's going to make him do it again, I think, out there. It's all right. We don't mind that.
Yeah.
So umpire with the ball and throws it up. Well, throws it back in now. Sobey front position. Brown went after it, collected it. Looks at the handball outside. Went towards Alice. On the left boot, gave the handball outside to O'Connell. And again, he runs over the boundary line. So again, umpire will have a lot of impact here. Too sure why the Winchelsea player kicked the ball back in there, but we'll go back to the boundary line for the boundary umpire. And right beside the Winchelsea box now, we'll have a throw which will take place. Better the young fella this time comes in. That's a good throw by the young fella. Ball out the back, Sobey. Goes back towards the boundary line. Parrish leads in the race for the ball. Tackled by Crombie straight away. Tries to stand up and get out of there, but unfortunately again, the umpire will win possession of it. And another ball up again taking place in between the two coaches' boxes. Morris does the ruck work, but McIntyre read that nicely out of the contest, goes into the centre of the ground. Again, numbers with the East Geelong side. They all left it behind there at the moment. Lowndes now picks it up, so he's got some running players. Free kick's going to go back, and Hoff has got the ball. So he's inside there, centre square. Player wide, McLaughlin, he's not even looking in 50, this direction. 50. And now there's 50. I'm not too sure why that was.
There might have been a mouthing off, I reckon, there.
Now he's getting given another one.
100, yep.
So instead of having a kick from the middle of the ground, Hoff is going to be taken to the goal square, and Will Hoff will get his first goal of the afternoon.
I'm not putting it down yet, mate.
Oh, I've already put it down. Yeah, not many
I'm
blokes.
agreeing.
There's not too many have missed from that area, I wouldn't have thought. So Hoff from right on the goal line steps in and chips over the top, and he has his first goal of the afternoon. The fourth now for East Geelong. They move to 4-2. Winchelsea one straight goal, 3 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
And that's 4 in a row now for the Eagles, so I think later on in this broadcast we'll touch on their month ahead, but if they can just string together a 7th straight win this afternoon, they might have that ability to just try some players in different positions in the second half of this match. I didn't anticipate them to string 4 before the main break, but if all goes to plan for them, it could even be 5.
Well, with probably 27 minutes to go, mate, you'd like to think you're going to kick another one. Anyway.
I said in a row.
Yeah, I know what you said, mate. Rightio, Grubby, settle down.
Keeping you accountable.
Rightio, ball back in the middle now. We've got Morris versus Sobey. Sobey wins that one down, eludes Parrish. Picked up beautifully by Lowndes. Spins right out of trouble. Drives East Geelong forward. Looking into the sun there, Smith. Ball punch forward. Ezard leads in the race for it. Big man overruns it. Picked up there again. Ball moving forward. Handball out now. Kept into play right in front of the netball courts here. Umpire's going to come in and say that is mine. I reckon those 250s, Dale might have been for a bit of lip, mate. The second one definitely was, but I think the first one was about the same. So ball to be thrown up now. Ezard will do the ruck work. He tries to grab it out of the air. Nearly does, and does so in there. It's feeds a handball out to Crombie. Crombie gets a quick handball over to no one in particular. And the ball is out of bounds again. We'll now have a throw in. So we've had some good passages of play here, but there's been a lot of scrappy passages. So Ezard puts his hand up and says, I'll do the ruck work. Morris alongside him for Winch. So the ball thrown in now. Morris works to the front, goes up uncontested there, nearly taps in the hands of Ezard, but ball hits the deck. Fighting on the ground there, not going to go anywhere. The umpire will come in and we will have a bounce. A bounce. A ball up. Going back to my area of Dale, we had a bounce there, mate. East Geelong would have been covered in mud. Ball was stuck in the ground back then. So anyway, Ezard and Morris do battle again. Morris wins that one down comfortably, goes towards Cassie. Parrish handballs the ball back towards Rouget. Well, actually, no, it was Cale. So he was tackled, dispossessed. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have another boundary line throw. It might be time for a technical free kick. We've ticked over 5.5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter here at Richmond Crescent.
So throw-in takes place now. Morris again front position, out to Finn Parrish. Kick smothered from the boot. Crombie goes after it. Couldn't get clean pick up at ground level. Hoff comes in. And again, a number of players over the ball. We'll have an umpire to throw it up once again. We're not moving too far from where the last one was. So umpire up again quickly. This time Ezard forces his teammate, or the opposition player, away from the ball. Picked up by McIntyre. He left it behind in the end. Went back after it again at ground level. It's picked up out there.
It's free kick.
Lowndes had it, but then the umpire said he's incorrect disposal. Free kick will go to the Winchelsea side.
50
We've
for
got another
abuse.
50.
Yep. That was definite abuse. Now, I suppose with the GFL not playing today, mate, there's probably been some umpires shoveled around. We might have a couple of GFL umpires here today.
So who's not playing?
The GFL's not playing this week.
Are they?
No.
Why is that?
Oh, they've got a week off.
Gee, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Life's good at the top.
I think they're having Tom Hawkins around. They're all gone to the big game.
Lee Ellis goes out wide. Mark not taken out there, or has a fair attempt there by Semi-Low. Couldn't complete it. Ball goes now. Runs to O'Connell. He's back on the right boot. Shows a little bit of dash now. Loads up. Goes long into their forward line. Sobey's back there. Mark not taken. Out the back, Markey dribbles one along the ground and dribbles it straight through. So he gets his first goal of the afternoon and the second now for Winchelsea. They move to 2 straight goals. They trail East Geelong on 4-2. We have gone 7 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'm stating the obvious here, but they really needed that one. They had a lot of footy in their forward line the opening 5, 6, maybe even 7 minutes, but we haven't seen a lot on the to the right of your screen if you're watching this live stream. So now they have to back it up. But that is an end-to-end goal there. I've been really impressed with the second efforts of Bailey Cale around the stoppage defensively. He wasn't there for the start of the season. One of the reasons they started Zip and 3, but they're looking a bit more competitive in the last 2 minutes.
Rightio, so back in the middle, Morris and McKinnon. No, Sobey's still in there, do battle. So goes up, Sobey wins that down to the left hand. Brown tries to grab it, he's beaten for it by Crombie. Crombie goes over to Osselbrook. Osselbrook goes across now to Andrew. Andrew has a bounce, crosses 50. Decides to go shortly for Mulville. That didn't work, but Hoff has done a brilliant job. Picks up Walters round one and goes bang. Answers within 10 seconds for East Geelong. They move to 5-2-32, leading Winch. 2 goals straight. We've ticked over 8 minutes.
Was that Hoff's second or third goal?
That was his second, mate.
Well, look, here I am putting a lot of emphasis on Mulville, Smith and Ezard in front of goal the last 2 weeks. This goes to show how many options they have. Hoff's looking very good, especially with play like that. The kick going forward didn't really have anyone's name on it, but he made the most of the opportunity when he did have it.
Well, there's a siren at K Park.
Giants 4 in a row down there, or?
Probably.
There you go. You've heard it first.
Hope not.
Not for our past player sitting next to us, Al.
Oh, there we go.
So back in the middle now. Sobey wins that one down to Crombie. Crombie quick kick forward, only as far as Parrish. Parrish swings around now. Comes out wide, looking for runners. It's a nice looking kick in front of Kersop Cole. If he can keep it in, he does really well. Runs away from King, has a bounce, has a second. Centres the ball now for Winch. That's a lovely looking kick, and that's probably a free kick up for acceptances. And the umpire has said no. He has paid the mark, I reckon, the other way to Winch. So Gould has taken the mark. He'll come in for Winch, just ambles in, drops it over the goal umpire's head. It was very good last week. Jordan Gould gets his first, and the third for Winch. They move to 3 straight, trailing East Geelong, who are 5-2. We've gone 9.5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter.
All 3 of us were thinking it. They're very lucky to not be penalised with that attempt for a hanger, but to make this game entertaining, Winchelsea needed that goal, and they've kicked 2 of the last 3 now.
Kick 3 of the last 8 too, mate.
That's it.
So we're back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Oh, no, we're not. This ball's still coming back.
Sorry, mate.
Now we just got dead air time. Let's get this going.
I'm going to
Yes,
try,
See who gets the next
I'm
one.
going to try one of these pumpkin cakes while Dale has a call.
So McKinnon's doing the ruck work now, and I think it's Maloney's gone in there against him. He taps the ball down Maloney. Ball comes out of that contest, goes towards centre wing. Both players have a hand on it, and the umpire says it's coming back to him very quickly. Thrown up again quickly by the umpire, and again McKinnon this time taps the ball out the back, goes into the hands of King. His kick goes towards the centre-half forward position. Coming up was Walsh. Didn't take clean possession of it. Gemmell went after it. He got on hands and knees, got the handball outside. Went back to King again. He was tackled, brought out. Budavalis puts boot to ball, goes out wide. Mark taken out there by Kirsup Cole. So he now has the ball. Looks back inside. Short kick, dangerous. King was able to intercept, couldn't finish the mark off into the hands there. That is of Andrew. He got the handball back outside. So they keep winning possession. Smith still inside the contest. Handball's outside to McIntyre. Little look up. Sees a player short and uses Lowndes, and the mark has been taken. So Lowndes now forward of centre wing. For the East Geelong sign, could go back inside to Smith, but ignores that now and wants to go long towards Ezard. Actually went towards Hoff. Ball went through his hand, picked up by Ezard. Got the handball back inside again. Not too clear, but it's going to be run out of there by Cale. Got the handball back inside. Went looking for his teammate in Rouget. I think he left the ball behind. Ends up to Kirsup Cole. He didn't take the mark. It's they're poking around with the football both sides here. They can't get it out, but this time that was a bit of use. And Bailey Cale sees his teammate in O'Connell. He runs and carries. Looks to go into their half-forward line. Coming up at the ball, Maloney. And it's Gould this time, I should say. He goes quickly forward in towards Cook. Leads up. Good spoil from behind there from McLaughlin. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Going to have a throw in here. Forward pocket area. This time Winchelsea back in attack.
That biscuit was delicious.
Very nice indeed.
Might come here again.
Probably will. No doubt before the end of the season. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Morris doing the work out the front of the contest. Goes to McIntyre. Did that nicely. Gave himself a little bit of space. Went back towards centre wing. Coming up at the ball. Mark wasn't taken. It was just plucked out of the air. This time by Maloney. He looks to go back into their forward line very quickly. That wasn't a great kick off the boot. I could see that from here. But it's going to land just inside the field of play and be pushed over. This time by McIntyre. Umpire will throw it back in. Outside forward 50. We'll just see again back in attack.
So ball has been retrieved. McKinnon and Morris do work. McKinnon grabs it just out of clean air, gives it off to McIntyre, who drives it into the centre of the ground, but only Gemmell there. Gets a handball over to Cale. Cale's dispossessed by the ball by Andrew. Coming through, but can't take the ball with him now. That's probably a free kick for too high, I would have thought. And Cale will take that one, moves the ball very, very quickly. Driving ball along now for Winch into space. Simon's dropped what he probably should have taken, but luck's fortunate. The back McLaughlin just handballs the ball, kicks the ball off the ground. Quickly works out there, finds Osselbrook. Osselbrook goes McLaughlin, breaks one tackle, goes short, but has kicked that out of bounds on the full. Very, very scrappy at the moment. Disposal from East Geelong not being great.
Hasn't been great, but I'll tell you what, Winchelsea's accuracy in front of goal, it's almost reminiscent of the round 4 clash you guys had a look with North Geelong, where East Geelong had lots of the footy, but inaccurate kicking kept the Maggies in the game.
As soon as I say that, Winch turned the ball straight over to McIntyre. McIntyre goes short, has a couple of options there, but McLaughlin takes the mark. He now looks in for an option, and it's a nice little kick. Finds Andrew. Andrew now chips the ball across to Monahan, but Marnicky done really well to get there and spoil. But there's that man McIntyre, spins out of trouble. Marnicky does well. Handball's over top looking for O'Connell. O'Connell runs onto it, gets around one, has time to steady, drives it long. Gould in the box seat here to take this one, puts the one arm out. Lee's got hold of him, brings him to the ground, can't get rid of the ball. The umpire will come in and say, I'll have that one, thanks. Just that one dangerous kick coming across the centre, Alex. Just nearly cost a goal there for East.
Well, if we can see more forward entries like that from O'Connell, he might have frequent flyers at the Hoffham after last week's performance.
So the ball now thrown up in the air. Quick kick. It's gone nowhere. It's just gone to the hot spot. Dangerous. Anyway, handball comes up to Alice. Alice from the spot is usually very, very dangerous. No good here. Has put it out of bounds on the full. So again, doing a lot of attacking here, Winch. We've ticked over 50, about to go 15 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard. McLaughlin with the ball to bring it back in and see if East can get this one out. So McLaughlin goes long down the line out the coach's box side of the ground looking for Ezard. Ball hits the deck. Picked up there by Brown. Brown feeds a handball through. Chopped off immediately. Wrapped up in the tackle. Freeman with a good tackle there. Going nowhere at all. Have a ball up at just outside 50. Winch in attack again, Dale.
Yes, they've had a lot of play down that forward line. Ball thrown up by the umpire, out of the contest. They works, and that was Parrish, gets the handball back. They go back into a forward line again, and that will be a good mark. Actually, wasn't completed in the end. Picked up out there. Monahan got the handball out to Bartel. Looked at his options. Now there's been a free kick. What was it for? Must have held on to Monahan, I think, for a bit too long, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's all I can think of, mate.
We're out and running, so it may have held them up a little bit. So Monahan now decides to play on and goes back towards centre wing. Contest out there. Ball comes to ground. Walsh ducks, weaves, gets out of the contest. Handball was good outside to Freeman. Freeman went back further. They used the ball. That one wasn't as good. Ball now. Oh, there's a player tackle without the ball there. This play. Both umpires away from the contest. They're paying the free kick. The bloke in the play. I don't think he must need the glasses. So the ball now with the Winchelsea side. Rouget. Oh, that kick wasn't good off the boot either. Again, ball wasn't trapped out there towards coming through with
well
Simons.
done.
He ended up picking the ball up, goes to Ezard, got himself into trouble and out of trouble. Out to Bartel. Bartel looks across the ground. Smith a long way from goal. He comes up and takes the mark. He's asking just to slow things down now, control the ball.
Have a shot.
I'm not too sure why he's doing that. The ball's a long way from their attacking end. Inside to Zimmer. Can keep going, but decides to hold up. So he's looking back towards the boundary line. Bartel still in some space by himself. Still, he's not too sure where he wants to go. Ali Mars comes up short on centre wing and takes the mark. So Mars now true centre wing. Again, players not moving like they were early in the game, so a little bit weary, I would think, at this stage. Out the back, good spoil from behind. Ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in which will take place in between centre wing and half forward, this time in East Geelong's attacking end.
Just up the highway, boys. Werribee 6.844, Thompson 2.416.
So, ball in now. McKinnon wins that one down, looking for Lowe. Lowe overruns it here. Worried out of it there maybe by Timms. And Timms picks it up, maybe dropped the ball there. Got away with it. Ball falls to the hands of Cassidy. Paris feeds it out to Cook. Cook couldn't take it with him. He's got Simons and Lowe on him. Simons has done well there. He's just a little tack. Umpire says, we'll throw it in. Thanks. That was very
deliberate.
clever. Oh, he paid deliberate, did he?
Yep.
I thought he put his hands up to throw it in. Anyway.
And he's called it back.
I'm actually, it was a good call. I'm looking at the side of the commentary box here, mate. I have to get out of here to see that.
No, that's fine. You can do that, Spud, but it was a good call.
It was a good call.
He actually did tap it towards the boundary line.
Oh, he did.
With no other intention.
So Cook now for Winch with the resultant free kick. Plays on. Just drives it long to the hot spot here. Flying up at, your mark being paid there? It has. So Fanning mark or free kick being paid must be the mark because they're bringing the ball back. So Jaden Fanning, who's been a welcome return to the East Geelong side in the last couple of weeks, drives it short. Simons did well in the end there to hold on to that grab. He chips out wide. Now chance for runners here, but again stagnant, but Zimmer keeps moving. He puts the hands up, takes a nice mark just inside defensive 50. So Lachlan Zimmer now, nice little short one over top to Monahan. Monahan now, outside 50. Looking at his options down the line. He's got shades of last week, though, where they smothered Belpost Hill and didn't let him out. So they're doing it again. Monahan told to play on. Goes in short. Protecting the ball well, taking the mark. So it's not the free-flowing football we probably expected. We've seen in patches. But East Geelong still controlling the ball. Long kick down the line here. Players fly, brought to ground. The front was Crombie, wrapped up. Could have been taken high. And the umpire has seen it that way. So that wasn't Crombie, it was the Huff. Huff goes to Crombie. Crombie now down the line looking for Ezard. Ezard puts her hands up, punched away beautifully there in defence. We'll have a Banjo line throw in right in front of the social rooms here at East Geelong.
On the Buckley's Entertainment Centre end, and look at all the sponsors that are here for what's a massive day for the club.
Yeah, the sponsors' day here at East Geelong. So, ball to be thrown back in. Looks like we got Sobey and Morris do the work. Neither ruckman going to handle it. Morris gets a second attempt, but it's as far as Lowe. Lowe goes to McIntyre. McIntyre has Mars outside. He has plenty of time to steady and so he wants to kick it. He goes long. That's not a great kick at all. Relieving mark here taken by Nagel. Nagel just chips it across the face of goal. Maintain possession. Welsh goes short again to Carl. Carl with time. Kale with time. So just sizing up the options. Decides to take on his opponent. Gets nowhere. Bartel put him into a corner. He done well in the end. Long kick down the line. Low looking to take the mark. Didn't fly. Ball falls to ground. Finn Parrish brilliantly there. Puts the ball out in front of Freeman, hoping he can run onto it. McIntyre closes down very, very well. For as much time as he picks it up. Handball across. Nice little chip out here. So now time for East to perhaps repel. Drive long down the line. Sam Lode made space. Ball goes over the top. Mulville runs onto it now on his favoured left side. Has one bounce. Looks up. Has a shot at goal. And I tell you what.
Look at that.
That is an absolute beauty. Austin Mulville has his first for the day. The 6th for East Geelong. They moved to 6-2. Leading Winch with 3 straight. We've gone 21 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
Such an influx of different goal kickers, I'm glad he's got one before the main break because he's set up about 3 or 4 opportunities there. But, 50 games under his belt, I reckon he's going to take his game to the next level, which you'd assume is going to finish at St Albans this season. I think East Geelong will definitely be thereabouts from what we've seen today and the other 3 broadcast games we've had. And the next 8 we're going to have in the next 10 weeks.
So we are back with the umpire, middle of the ground. Sobey back in doing some ruck work up against Morris. He doesn't fly. Sobey just takes it out of the ruck, goes by hand out to Bartel. Bartel goes back into their forward line. Coming up, Ezard. That was a nice little tap forward. Goes towards Zimmer. Can't pick the ball up yet. Has support there in Smith. Left it behind. Picked up by Parrish. Handball's back inside. So they work through Henry. Henry got the handball away. Went back to Parrish. This is Cassidy. Off a step. Looked to go back into the middle. Kick has to be good and wise. Brown come up. Met the ball. Did nicely. Goes out wide. Running player out there. Could be Berg. I think it is. He's got the boots on now. And he comes back inside with a nice looking kick. A nice kick, but unfortunately goes over the top. Gould has it now. Lows in the right boot. Screws it back towards centre half forward. Markey there by himself. He takes the mark and he can go back and shoot at his second of the quarter. So Markey with one also in this quarter and an opportunity from about 40 metres out to go back and kick his second and have Winchelsea with their 4th goal of the afternoon. Staying alive because of their kicking, but he walks in now. Kicks that goal. Looks okay off the boot. Umpire has not moved. He has his second of the afternoon and the 4th now for Winchelsea. They are 4 straight. They trail East Geelong on 6 goals too. We've gone 23. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, the Blues have got their confidence back. Every time the ball goes towards Finn Parrish, he's just in that last 2-3 minutes had that ability to have that extra step or 2 ahead of Lowndes and just burst it forward. And I'd say that was probably the first real free, uncontested mark we've seen in the Blues forward line really so far in this contest.
Yeah, you're probably right, mate. You're probably right. So we've gone, 18 minutes this quarter's been scrapped. We've had 4 goals kicked from absolute beautiful free-flowing play. So let's see more of that, thanks. Ball back in the middle now. Morris and Sobey. Neither really got a dominating tap, but it falls out towards Cassidy Parrish. He swings on the left foot. Not a great kick off the boot, but it's out in front of O'Connell. Mars did really, really well to knock him off the ball. Picks it up now. Time turn around. Finds his coach in Oswald. Oswald goes long down the line. Flying high. Not quite taking the mark. There was Hoff. Picked up by Cassidy Parrish again. He has Morris in the middle. Morris, a nice little handball across to Henry. Henry drives Winch forward. Overrunning the ball there was Simons, but fighting to keep it in. Done well. And the ball has spilled free. Handball out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin leaves it behind, but does well to get back. Got McIntyre down the line. Goes to the handball. Too much on it. And we'll have a banjo line thrown in front of the cricket nets here. Winchelsea attacking zone here at Richmond Crescent. We get another quarter, another 5-minute burst from Simons, mate, like we did last week. Grubby will be going off at a strain crawl again. Don't worry about that. So ball to be thrown in here. Simons and Maloney to do battle. It's a short throw by the umpire. He says play on though. So players overrun it. The Hoff picks it up, gets a handball over to Monahan. Monahan in space. Bit of time to steady, looking long down the line. That's very well done by McKinnon to bring the ball to ground. Gets his own ball himself. Could have been held on, but the umpire said no. Andrew there to support. But the ball's gone over the line, and that could have been as bad as last week, Tyler, when young Jones hit the fence out at Winch.
I think Billy Andrew almost landed on the railway tracks there. He's just hobbling back on the,
He did hit the
on the
fence.
playing field now.
Ball thrown in now, so Sobey just grabs it out of the air, handballs it off to, just hands it to McIntyre. McIntyre goes short with a magnificent looking kick to Mulville. Mulville now on the left foot, pushes it out wide, probably too wide for McKinnon, but he does get it, gets the handball back to Andrew, and as this ball does, it bounces wherever it wants, takes a right-hand turn and goes over the line. So about 45 out from the East Geelong goal. They are currently 14 points in front. We've gone 25.5. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here at East Geelong. Ball comes in. Ezard at the back uses his body to handle across to Crombie. Crombie throws ball in the boot. A bit of an up and under floating across, and that's almost gone through the hoop on the full.
He hasn't had enough biscuits.
No,
Needs to get
we've
some
eaten them
leg
on him.
strength.
So Welsh for Winch now, the relieving free kick. Chips it down the line. A 2-on-1 contest, but that is fantastically done there by Brown. Just used his body well against the two shorter opponents. A big in for the side today, Dale.
Yes, no, haven't been waiting to see him most of the year, actually.
So Caleb Brown now comes
More
across.
dangerous.
Goal. That's not a great kick. One-on-one here. Andrew does well. Picks it up, wrapped up in a tackle straight away. No prior. Not a great kick at all. Just wrap a bloke up, mate. And the old commentator's curse kicks in.
He'd have gone after it. Billy Andrew could have got there in the full, I reckon.
Yeah, 26.5 gone Buckley's Entertainment. Ezard in front is paid a shepherd here, and it's going to go to Winch. I reckon it was not Ezard. It was off the ball. So Morris comes out wide looking for Parrish. Nice little kick. Parrish takes the mark in front of Monaghan. So 60 out from his own goal here. 27 minutes about to tick over, and if not the first quarter, mate, it won't be much longer to go. So Parrish comes long down the line. Marking contest in front of us. The ball hits the deck. It's gone out of bounds. We'll have a Bangeline throw in, Dale. You know what I'm going to do?
Pass it back to me.
Let
Thanks,
you
Potter.
take over,
Good
buddy.
on you, mate. You're a good man. So right from where we sit, this is the best viewing spot in the house.
Bet you the siren goes.
Yeah, probably. Ball thrown at Sobey's going to do the ruck work, and again has front position, tapped the ball down, coming through O'Connell, takes it away out of the contest, handballs back inside, went back towards Morris. Marnicky's also there. He was taken high. Umpire on the wrong side of the pack there, I think, this time to see that. And it was held up. Umpire will now come in and ball it up right on centre wing. So ball thrown up in the air again, Sobey and Morris. Sobey again at ground level. Umpire said he was interfered with, and he's going to win a free kick. McIntyre sitting off the back of the contest. Crombie have already passed him. Now he gives the handball to Benny Crombie, and now he looks up into their forward line. Kicks long and low into their forward line. Nice looking kick. Going back, mark not taken in front of the contest. Picked up by Finn Parrish. Got the handball outside. Did that nicely. Ends up in the hand of Brown. He goes out wide. Goes looking towards Cook. Ball gets through that contest. He goes back and wins possession of it. Or tried to knock the ball forward, I should say. And he's got some support out there now. Over the top with Maloney. He gets the ball, keep running forward, but unfortunately the ball has gone over the boundary line, and we will have a throw-in which will take place. So right on centre wing on the far side of the ground.
As our camera zooms in on their rotations, I think Smith's been off the ground for a bit. I just haven't seen him bop up recently.
Was there a free kick? What was that for?
Don't know.
Don't know. It's going Winchelsea's way. So it's going to be Cook, goes inside to Parrish. The kick wasn't great. Parrish makes it okay. He was tackled, then he disposed of the ball incorrectly. Picked up by King. Advantage is allowed by the umpire. Goes back into their forward line. Coming up, mark not taken. Andrews had it and lost it. Goes into the hands of Henry. He gets the handball away. Good support, or good pressure, I should say, now they're out there by East Geelong. They've worked hard to keep the ball in that same area. Ball is kicked off the ground. Again, not coming out. Umpire will come in. Yes, he will. No, he's let play roll. He's still letting it go. And now he comes in, says there will be a ball up which will take place. So both sides worked pretty hard in that little passage. So up to take place on the centre wing on the far side. That's from where we sit. Out of the ruck contest. Ball not cleared directly from that contest. There's a holding decision going East Geelong, and it's Lowndes. Goes back inside to Crombie once again. On the right boot, he goes quickly and long into the forward line. Andrew did push there, and the umpire says that is okay. Thought he might have. He was standing right there too, so he can't have missed it, Spider.
No, so he got down there too quick.
Maybe
mate.
class it as a hold. Might have been a hold, not a push.
It was a push.
Didn't extend the arm, so we'll give it to him that time.
Pretty belted his head on the ground there too, and he went down.
So Billy Andrew now with an opportunity to kick his first goal of the afternoon and the 7th for East Geelong. He's gone back a long way, I think, here. Steps in, he'll need to kick the ball only possibly 40 metres. So it should not be an issue in relation to distance. Kicks the ball, and it's off to the right and through for a minor score. As the siren sounds to end the first half here, which will see East Geelong go in at 6-3, leading Winchelsea on 4 straight goals. Goal kickers at this stage of the game, Hoff with 2, 1 each to Crombie, Simons, Mulville and Osselbrook. And for Winchelsea, 2 to Markey, both in that quarter. Gould and Aaron Cook also for the Winchelsea side. We're going to take a short break and hopefully come back. We'll have scores from around the ground. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
15-point half-time break. 6-3-39 leading Winch with 4 goals straight around the grounds. Inverleigh 7-6-48 lead Anarchy 5-8-38. Belpost still 5-4-34 trailing Bannockburn 8-4-52. Werribee 8-8-56 lead Thompson 3-8-26. Belmont 9-5-59 lead North Geelong 5-3-33. Corio 8-10-58 lead the Giants 5-3-33. Al, thoughts for the first half, my friend?
Well, look, Winchelsea, they were down by 14 at the first break. They're now down by 15. So they've lost both quarters, but we did see a bit of improvement from a lot of the ball winners there. I don't want to use Dale's term, Rob Peter Pay Paul, but you need to have Sawney back in this midfield. You put him there, you put another one in, but in saying that, then Jack Beardsall needs to come in for East Geelong as well. So there's 2 factors on each side. Look, I think Winchelsea can still come back at this stage, and for all our junior listeners, Essendon superstar Darcy Paris is in the club rooms, happy to sign as many autographs as possible. So him and Dale, the 2 former AFL greats, at the ground today.
Don't think my message will be worth much.
Quickly before we get the ball done, Ballerine, Inglesea 66, Amos 33, Barwonheads 41, Queenscliff 40, Motta 52, Newcombe 21, Drysdale 35, Ocean Grove 27, Torquay 69, Port 44.
That's not bad, Port.
Been all right. Anglesea, Amos. Shock.
So ball now with the umpire, and the third quarter is underway. Thrown in the at it. Unfortunately there, Morris went up before he expectancies. Comes out, Osselbrook, clearance from the middle of the ground. Looks to run into their forward line. Actually, for a minute there, I thought he might have been going the right way because no one was going after him, but they just let him run. So ball now, Mulville gets the handball across, goes toward Hazard. Hazard goes back on his right boot, wants to kick round the body. It's tall, it's long. Has it got the accuracy? No, it's not. It's way offline and through for a minor score, 6-4. Now to East Geelong, 4 straight. Winchelsea, as I said, 32 seconds only in the third quarter. So the ball from the fullback position is with Finn Parrish, goes short. Nice looking kick inside. Cale has the mark. Looking to transfer back towards Parrish now. Work down the ground again. They get the third kick, goes towards his brother Cassidy. Come up. That was a good strong grab. Needed to be. Kick wasn't good going in forward. Handball goes back over the top to Cale. Actually, nearly threw it over the top to back to Finn Parrish. Now in the hands of Cook from the half-back line. Goes long. That's a better movement of the ball. Mark has been taken inside 50, and it's going to be by Gould. He goes quickly into the forward line.
Great kick.
And that's a good kick. It's favoured Lee Ellis, and he will go back with an opportunity to kick a goal early in the third quarter.
That's probably the third end-to-end play we've seen for the Blues this afternoon that started with Finn Parrish. But after the last 2 didn't quite hit the scoreboard, I reckon this one's going to go straight through the sticks, left to right.
Lee Ellis is a good kick at goal. We don't want to put the curse on him, but he is genuinely a very, very good kick from this distance. When he from inside 50, steps in. Oh, look, we have shanked him. We have definitely shanked him. It's a shocking kick. 4 goals, 1 to Winchelsea, 6-4 to East Geelong. We've gone almost 2 minutes to Granny Cycle Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Wow. Commentator cursed. McLaughlin now with the ball for East Geelong. Wow, that's fantastic.
And again, compliments Mrs. O'Leary's breast of chicken sandwich. Magnificent.
Oh, unbelievable. So the ball kicked out towards Sobey, 2-on-1. He does well to get to the front. As the umpire paid the mark, now he hasn't. I reckon he was right there. I think Parrish had hands on the ball first. So I'll have a ball up 60 metres from the Winch goal. Looks like Sobey and Maloney, excuse me. They both tapped the ball the same way, so we'll say they had it half at each. Cassidy Parrish done well, tries to feed off King, dribbles the ball on the ground, picked up there, taken out of bounds. So just inside forward 50 for Winch. Very promising start to the quarter for them. So we've ticked over 2.5 minutes. The Granny Cycling Sport third quarter here at Richmond Crescent. Ball thrown back in. It's a nice throw to the boundary umpire there. Sobey wins that one down, but only as far as Brown. Brown feeds the ball over towards Parrish. But kick off the ground goes to King, but his kick has been chopped off there by Morris. Morris now gives the ball to Cale. Cale goes out wide. It's a nice looking kick towards Berg. Kersop Cole takes the mark, drives him long, looking for Gould. Uses the body to push Lee out of the way. Sam Lowe getting back to help out. Feeds a handball back to Fanning. Fanning goes over to Monahan. Monahan spills, puts himself under his own pressure. It was Dixon. Goes back towards him again. But chopped off now. Numbers in the middle here. Goes over the top. Picked up by McIntyre now. Cool head onto that left foot. Chips it out wide to Mulville. Mulville does really well in the contest. Mark Strong overhead. So he's just looking for his options further down the ground. Play is very, very stagnant. So he just goes long down the line to no one in particular. And Carl takes a relieving mark. He handballs the ball across to Gemmell. Gemmell closed there by Smith, but gets it away quickly enough. It's a great-looking kick too. Finds O'Connell. O'Connell swings around to that right boot straight away. Drives the ball long. Gould 3-on-1. Ball put to ground by Lowe, but well done by Simons!
Look at that.
Here we go. Kicked 3 in 3 minutes last week. Can he repeat the dose now? So that is the 5th goal for Winchelsea. They move to 5-1, trailing East Geelong 6-4. We've gone 4 minutes. The Greenie Cyclone Sport, third quarter.
Well, they're hungry up forward. This is movement we didn't see in the first half. We've seen it now. Margins back to 9 points. And on the other end, even though the ball hasn't gone too far to the right of screen, they've got the matchups right. I wasn't too impressed with Bordevalis and Mulville and Gennell and Andrew before, but Bordevalis has gone back to Smith. Kane's back on Mulville. I think Winchelsea, they've moved the magnets in the right spot. Now they just need a few more goals to get the lead back.
So we're back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Rouget and Osselbrick just toe-to-toe there in the middle of the ground. Back in the hands of McIntyre. Gets the ball back towards Bartel. Bartel goes outside looking for King. Race is on now. King leads in the race with the ball, but left it behind. Timms picks the ball up. Handball wasn't great. Ends up back in the hands now of King. Goes back inside to McIntyre. Will step off the left and does that nicely and goes into the half-forward line. Coming up, Mark taking Ezard. Handballs off quickly. Zimmer running through. Could add a shot for goal. Decides to go towards the pocket. Smith shielded the ground. Did that nicely. Then runs in and he answers very, very quickly. And it's a 7th goal now for East Geelong. They're 7-4. Winchelsea are 5-1. We've gone 5 minutes to Greenie Cyclone Sports third quarter scoreboard.
It just seemed after this mishandball here, Winchelsea had one less player to the play. And I'm not picking on any Winchelsea player there. It just seemed like every bit of movement in that 15-second entry, East Geelong just had an extra number around every option. Which is why I think they are definitely a premiership contender in season 2024.
Already better than Grubby, mate. He would have named 7 players.
I'm a little bit more diplomatic.
You got to be, buddy. You got to be.
Because I don't want a life ban.
4 weeks was enough for Grub.
Oh, that wasn't long enough, if you ask me. Anyway.
Back in the middle. So, Sobey and Maloney go at it. Oh, sorry, Morris. Morris ends up one down. Picked up there by Brown. Brown goes over top to Finn Parrish again. Oh, sorry, it ends up in the hands of Brown. But well done there by Bartel. Just bursts through. Goes forward looking for Mulville. Cruel bounce, but does well to get it. Wrapped up by Gemmell straight away. And the umpire will ball the ball up now. Just inside the forward 50. East attacking zone. They're kicking towards Guinea Park end. So ball comes to ground. Goes to McIntyre on the right foot this time. Puts it out in front here looking for Andrew. Andrew ducks the head. Get away with that one, yes he has. So comes back to Bartel. Bartel on his favourite left foot. I'll tell you what, from 40 metres out, bang! We have 8 now for East Geelong. They moved 8-4-52, leading Winch 5-1-31. We've ticked over 7 minutes. The Greenie Cyclone Sport third quarter scoreboard.
Well, I haven't lost a quarter of footy East Geelong since the final term against Corio in round 5, and the way things are going right now. Everything Winchelsea do, East Geelong have an answer for, so just a class above right now. I mentioned in the pre-game that Winchelsea had the 4th best backs. Well, defensively, they were only 3 goals behind the ladder leader Belmont on the defensive front. They're just looking like they're letting a few in this third term.
Weight of numbers will definitely start to pay, and they're getting a ball in there with a bit more frequency now, East Geelong. So ball thrown up by the umpire. Up and down was Maloney, too early. Out the middle comes Brown. For Winch, kicks high, goes out towards centre wing. Sam Lowe reads the nicely, but couldn't finish the mark off. Ball hits the ground, he picks up, goes to Bartel. His handball was also intercepted. Handball ends up back with Brown. He goes out wide to Parrish. Yes, it is Cassidy. Looks back inside. Kick will have to be good and was. Mark is taken out there by Maloney. Maloney now On centre wing, far side of the ground from where we sit. So clubroom side decides to play on and go long into their forward line. In front, low once again, gets through his hands, ends up in the hands out the back. I think that was Cook.
Yep.
Has time to steady. Kick was smothered off the boot. Might have been a high tackle there, but it was missed. Picked up by Mars. Handball comes out to McIntyre. Steps and gets out of trouble. Has runners outside and uses that now. Player was Simons. He goes with a short kick. Coming up, Marcus taken there by O'Connell. McKinnon. McKinnon goes back inside, goes to Bartel. Oh, stretched, reached, and took that nicely. So he's looking to transfer play across the ground. It was okay. Marcus taken out there. And I tell you, we haven't seen for some time is McLaughlin. Is he finished for the day, is he?
Dunno.
Haven't seen him, and he's not on the bench, I don't think. I
Yeah,
know
he's
he's
right
in the
in front
middle
of
of the ground.
us. Oh, he's there,
had
mate.
Little impact, but it's unusual because he's been a dasher in the first half.
What?
Ball now from this position, kicks from the centre wing, goes in towards Andrew. Did that nicely also. Handball looks back inside. McIntyre's made his way down the ground, over the top, with some free space. Ball kicked around the body, runs towards the goals. Will it run through? Smith on the ground has hit the post through for a minor score. So 8-5 now, East Geelong, 5-1 to the Winchelsea side. 9 minutes gone to Granny Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
I didn't mind that. Just snap on the side, vacant goal square, allows Smith enough time to just get that lucky bounce, but didn't anticipate for him to go for the Daniel Wells 2004 goal of the year. He just put the foot out and hope for the best.
Welsh with the ball now. Gets around McKinnon, then chips one just over the top to Parrish. Finn Parrish now in front of the home coach, his coach's box, goes long down the line, but Fanning takes a nice relieving mark, comes across looking for low, telegraph that, chopped off by Berg. Berg done really well, handballs the ball to Cook. Cook running through the centre of the ground here, kicks long, races on, Ellis, ball bounces for him, but Simons gets back to help out with Fanning there, has time. Looks to switch, comes across to the aforementioned McLaughlin, who now has the ball. He's been told to play on and chips the ball in towards Sam King. So King takes the mark just inside defensive 50. A few short leads come on. He's got Lee's pushed out wide. So Lee has been a fantastic defender for East so far this year. Now with a bit of time, goes back to Fanning. So they're 25 metres out from their own goal again now. So he goes wide. Nice looking kick. So it was Dixon kicking to Fanning. Dixon was a nice pick up the other week, wasn't he, Dale? So
It really was.
So Fanning now has the ball. Everyone's moving short for him, so he honours the lead. So he's just controlling the shades of the dynasty at Bell Post still. The big kick to McIntyre. Goes over his head, opens up the space for King. King runs onto it, gets through a pack of three Winch players. Has time to throw it on the right foot, goes out wide towards McKinnon. McKinnon couldn't quite hold the mark, done really well at ground level. Handballs to Crombie. Crombie's out, bounce one. That's all he went with. Smith now has turned his opponent inside out, has a bit of space. Too much on the kick though. Well, a boundary line throw in. Deep in attack for East Geelong. We've ticked over 11 minutes to Granny Cycling Sport third quarter.
Well, you saw Winchelsea just entered this third term with so much momentum and was really excited, and even with the commentary Moz, and since then it's just been East Geelong's game.
Anarchy in front.
Wow, against Maury's Inverleigh Hawks. Very interesting there.
Ball from the ruck contest, hits the front of the contest. Cassidy couldn't pick the ball up. Cassidy Parrish, I'm talking about, didn't put the ball up that time. Tackle was laid very quickly, and umpire will come in and he will take the ball once again. Still deep in attack for East Geelong. Ezra doing the ruck work, tapped out there, gain ground level. Boy, they try to work the ball out. They've done so nicely. Oh, Walsh was taken, brought to ground. Umpire said incorrect disposal. Thought he might have been a bit unlucky there. He was not much prior opportunity and maybe a little bit high with the first tackle, but free kick will go to East Geelong. Is it Lowndes or Zimmer? Lowndes, possibly.
Yeah, Lowndes, by look at it.
Zimmer's running towards the boundary line, so it's got to be. So Lowndes from inside 50, long kick. I tell you what, that's a beautiful kick off the boot. That has gone straight over the umpire's head without moving, and Lowndes gets his first goal of the afternoon. 9-5 now, East Geelong. 5-1 to Winchelsea. We have ticked towards 13 minutes to Grandy Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Well, there you have it. I've got nothing to say because I was looking at the AFL scores. So there's my honesty right there.
Who was winning?
So we got Carlton are up over the Gold Coast 58-46, and Port Adelaide comfortably over North Melbourne 12-8-80 to 5-4-34. The Horn Francis Cup.
Richmond North Melbourne's shaping as the game of the year.
In 1974, that's right, I agree.
Yeah.
Nothing since.
Back in the middle now, McKinnon and Maloney do work. They lock horns. McKinnon wins that one down. McIntyre overruns the ball. Cassidy Parrish does really well, picks it up, breaks through, gets a handball back to Welsh. Welsh gives himself a bit of trouble. It steps around it, and a nice little chip over the top. So O'Connell now goes wide. Got a player out there on the far side. I think it's Berg. Berg's got Parrish in through the middle, but ignores him and goes to Welsh. Welsh now goes to Parrish. Cassidy Parrish steers a pass in, but only as far as that man, Sam Lowe. So Sam Lowe now just chips the ball back over to Crombie. So the long sleeve to long sleeve. Ben Crombie right in front of the cannon that served wonderful schnitzel rolls here at East Geelong. Chips the ball over the top looking for Lowe. Telegraphed that a bit. Chip. Does that Welsh just pick that one off? I thought netball whistle it must have been, was it?
The first one was.
I think there's a free kick being paid here. I don't know what for. The ball was on the move, but Monahan has it anyway. So he chips it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's got Simons out a bit wider. I think he'll use him now, and he should run and run. He's got support inside. Have a bounce, but he decides not to. Goes long down the line looking for Lee. Lee goes back to the flight of the ball, does really, really well, brings it to the ground. Gemmell done well then to hold it up, so give Winch a chance. Ball spills free. Now we're wrapped up in a tackle. That was Nagel, so not going anywhere. And Dale, if you want, I'll do you a favour, mate. If you want to take over here, because you can see it.
Right, mate. I'm happy to do that. Don't worry
14
about
and a half.
So ball thrown up by the umpire again. Maloney over the top, brings ball to ground, picked up by King. King for East goes into their half-forward line. Hop in front. Mark not taken. Andrew took it. Oh, I thought it might have been a high tackle there. Umpire said no. And it's going to be a ball up which will take place. So ball now with the umpire, goes quickly with the ball in the air. McKinnon front position, out the back, comes towards Parrish. He gives the handball away and it goes from Freeman towards centre wing. Ball gets through that contest. Ellis leads in the race for the ball. Needs a favourable bounce. It won't come back to him now. It does on the left boot. Runs it along the boundary line, maybe just inside the field of play. Going out there, and was nicely done there by Dixon. Sees the ball over the boundary line. So East Geelong now with some time to get some numbers back behind it.
Now, it's not on camera, but Finn Parrish has been standing at the interchange gate for about 3 minutes now, dying to come back on the ground. And I tell you what, when he's been off, East Geelong have broken through their half-back line. So, please, Winchelsea, put him back on the ground.
So the ball now from that ruck contest comes to the front, picked up by Simons, goes out the back into the hands of McIntyre, chips along the boundary line, bit too strong, goes over the top of Huff, and now into the hands of Cale. He goes back inside, right boot, goes to Parrish, went through his hand. Crombie, and that was Monahan, ran into the umpire, picked up by Osselbrook, got through the contest, fed the handball out, will be okay. Lowe's there, got support in Lowndes. Lowndes also trying to step through the contest, had a runner outside, McLaughlin needs to go after it. He's got a bit of an opposition now through Gemmell. He picks the ball up. Nice work. Handball goes inside. Simons gets the ball around the boundary line and Freeman takes a mark. Looks back inside. Goes towards Walsh. Kick wasn't great. They've got now in the Cairns of Cursup Cole. Pace got him through the contest. Handball's up over the top. East Geelong and back into the hands now of Gemmell, it might have been, or not, wasn't it? Was Freeman, kicks back towards the goal square. Fanning for East Geelong, goes back, got the handball back inside the goal square. East Geelong, they just load up and go long. Set a task for King. It's going to happen in the hands of Marnicky, and he can go back and have a look at his third goal of the afternoon. I reckon he's got the distance in him.
You think so too?
Yep, I think right on 50. It was a good lead there by Morris, but that was ignored, and now he's going to go back and take some responsibility upon himself. So we'll get a great look at it from where we sit here. So Marnicky, as we said, had two in the second quarter. And a chance now to add his third. Berg pushing into the forward line can be an option if he wants to. Runs out, kicks long, but in doing so has dragged the ball to the left and through for a minor score. So 5-2 now to Winchelsea, 9-5 to East Geelong. 17 minutes gone to the Granny Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
So McLaughlin for East Geelong to bring the ball back in. Anik 8 points in front now. So McLaughlin looking at options. No one moving, so he just runs out of the square, decides to come out wide. It's a nice looking kick to Dixon. Dixon puts the hands up, what he's interfered with by Marnicky, and that's how the umpire's seen it. So Dixon will take the free kick. Right in front of the scoreboard here. So it gets round Marnicky and throws it on the right boot, but to no one in particular. The ball comes over the back. Done well, Ezard there to bring the ball to ground, but falls in the hands of Henry. Henry's short little kick to Welsh. Welsh plays on straight away. Looks to go long down the line, but finds a shorter target there. So Freeman now for Winch. Went to go two handballs, changed his mind. Went long down the line looking for Gould. That's a fantastic grab. So, Jordan Gould, who was very big last week, mate. Kicked 4, I think, last week, Dale. Is looking now to repeat the dose. Strong hands in front there. No opportunity for Tim Lee coming from behind to punch the ball away. So, Gould. Kicking at the 6th for Winch now. Gone 18.5 minutes here. The Grandy Cycle and Sport, third quarter here at Richmond Crescent. Gould comes in, very deliberate approach, drops the ball in the boot, seems to push to the right, and that's the way the umpire sees it. So the third minor score for Winch on the board. They move to 5-3, trailing East Geelong, who are 9 goals 5. We have ticked over 18.5. The Grandy Cycle and Sport, third quarter.
Well, I got to put the spotlight on East Geelong's last line of defence. I don't think Lee has conceded a mark within 30 of their goal. Like he did then, but prior to that, the last entry was a nice spoil on the goal line. So he's played his role. Fanning sacrificed his game on the last line of defence against Anarchy last week. Now Lee's doing it. This is a complete team performance from East Geelong.
So the ball now has made its way towards centre wing, picked up out there, and again the strong tackle has seen a number of players come to ground. Umpire come in and will take possession just defensive side of centre wing. East Geelong looking to bring the ball out of that area. Ball runs back towards the boundary line, and again picked up out there by Walsh, but he is forced over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in which will take place in front of the East Geelong change rooms. Umpire coming back just a little bit further now, throwing the ball in. So it looks like McKinnon doing the ruck work, and he's up out there against Maloney. And there's a free kick being given, a throw, says the umpire. And the recipient's going to be Maloney. So Maloney will be able to put Winch back into attack. Goes by hand. I'm not too sure what that got out of that, but Kersop Cole kicks from the same spot. He goes long into the forward line. Mark not taken out there again. Strong tackle made straight after the ball came to ground, and the umpire will come in and take possession of it once again. Dixon was the player tackled. Throw up. Umpire Morris got up, gave it out towards Brown, and again, strong tackles has been laid on him, and umpire's asking for the ball back again.
Cassidy Parrish just at the back of that contest on the screen, still looking a bit ginger, but he might get this clearance here.
The ball from that ruck contest comes out, and again, ball runs back. I think it's picked up out there by Freeman, tries to burst his way through. Now, how will the umpire see it? He says no prior opportunity there, and again, ball is coming back to the umpire, so we haven't progressed too far from the original couple of ball throw-ups we've had. Sobey this time, ruck ball comes out. O'Connell read that nicely, runs and dashes, runs inside 50 now, looks at goal. Can he finish? Ball goes across.
Oh.
Mark is not taken out there and is forced over the boundary line. So this time we'll have a throw-in which will take place. 21 minutes gone in the third quarter. It is East Geelong 9-5, Winchelsea 5-3.
I was about to call that's the sixth tackle. Dale had to kick the ball.
Yeah.
The scrum. So the ball to be thrown in now.
Spider, 5 years in New South Wales is enough for me. No more of that, all right?
McLaughlin takes the ball. There goes the Monahan, misses. Ball lands in the hands of Marnick. There's a quick kick. Another quick kick there. I reckon that is by... Was that by Simons again? I reckon that is. I reckon that's Simons again, who did it last week, and he's done it again. So that's his second goal. Opportunist goal. That is the sixth goal for Winch. That was a 6-3, trailing Winch 9-5. That is 22 minutes to Grandy Cycling Sport. Third quarter.
So there's a 20-point margin. East Geelong is still winning this quarter, and given it's the De Grandy's third quarter, I reckon we'll see another few goals on the De Grandy's end to the right of screen.
Very clever, mate. It is the De Grandy's end. That's where it is.
Did my research, as promised at half-time.
Good lad, mate. Good lad. Do you know who the rest of the sponsors are?
Morris first.
Not the quarter by
second.
quarter, mate. We know who they are.
Hang on.
Anyway, we'll give you time, mate, to gather your thoughts. Back in the middle now. Sobey and Maloney to do battle. Ball goes up. Maloney reaches over top, wins that one down towards Cassidy Parrish. Sharks the ball. Handball over top, looking for Berg. Got plenty of time and space to run into it. Drives Winch long again, looking for Gould. And that's a fantastic grab taken on the chest. 55 out from his own goal. Moves the ball quickly here, looking for Morris. Goes over his head. Fanning does really well. Wraps up Marnicky on the ground. Ball spills free. Monahan breaks through the middle. Drives East Geelong back long down the line. Ball goes over the top only as far as Welsh for Winch. Winch has got Parrish running for him if he wants him. He chooses against it. Steadies up, waiting for a better option. Hasn't found one yet, so just chips it out wide to Cassidy Parrish. Got Maloney standing at centre half forward all on his own if he wants him. Players move across stream now. Cassidy Parrish drives the ball long. Goes over the back of the pack onto the ground. Picked up there by McIntyre. McIntyre goes to Lowe. Lowe, quick kick. Long down line for Crombie. Parrish in front. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball hits the deck. Ball goes over the boundary line, and we're going to have a ball in. No, we've had a free kick paid by the umpire down there. Might have been for in the back. So Winch with a free kick in front of the East Geelong social rooms here. It's like Freeman with the ball. So he drops it in short. It's a fantastic kick to Alice. All the players have been sucked back in towards the goal square. Alice took the opportunity in the space. Broke out for a lead. Boys, what do you think his chances are this time?
Well, no commentary, Mott's, all right, for the Winchelsea supporters, the Ellis family. We know he can do them at home, I reckon.
So Lee Ellis now coming in. We're kicking from about 35, 40 metres. No real angle to speak of. Drops it on the boot. Goal umpire pushes across, holds his line at the end, and no. He's got his second minor score. The fourth for Winch. They moved to 6-4, trailing East Geelong, who are 9-5. We've now ticked over 24.5 to Granny Cycling Sport, third quarter.
So Ali Barr's now doing the kicking duty. Soby's asking for the ball to come to the club, or to our side of the ground, but he decides to go back towards the pocket. Well, that was a good jump, and I'm not too sure he took that. Dixon it is too, yeah. That was a nice little grab. Ball goes quickly now out to the ground. Low presents and takes the mark, so outside 50. Now looking to drive the ball towards centre wing. Ezard not there. Mark is taken out there by Parrish, and he will turn things around once again. Kick goes in quickly. Walsh made good position as a player leading across the ground. Cale, that is the player he sees and he uses now. He decides to continue on, goes into the pocket. Another good lead up, and the mark will be taken out there by Gould once again. So he's done pretty nicely in this third quarter. Presented up.
Well, let's hope they can convert, because East Geelong's forward... Smith, who was trying to keep up with Cale. He's done something to his left hammy there, feeling it, so he might just head towards the bench for the end of this premiership quarter.
It was early in the year, wasn't it, Hemi?
He's heading that way now.
Looks a bit down now at the moment. So Gould plays on. He goes low and long into the forward line. Mark not taken down there at ground level. Ball sits and is to be won. Dixon laid a tackle. Ball still coming out of that contest. Again, there's numbers around the contest. Lowndes it is that tries to feed the ball out. Taken off the ball out there. Winchelsea now with the upper hand. Ball goes back inside. Timms gave it away, and I'm not too sure who it went to. Umpire said it's been held up. It's holding the ball. And free kick goes against Brown, so it will now be transferred across the goals. Mark will be taken out there. McIntyre haven't gained a lot at this stage, so McIntyre looking at his options, goes straight up the ground. Soby is the recipient of that kick.
Get the handball, boys.
Yeah, no, that's what they're asking for, but he decides to kick. That's not a bad kick coming out. Lee from behind, good spoil from the Winchelsea boys, and they see the ball back over the boundary line. So again, holding their end up and keeping it in their forward half gives them another option to go forward and kick a goal.
It's funny how East Geelong are on track to win this quarter as well, but the amount of footy that Winchelsea's had, it just doesn't feel that compared to the first two.
So the ball thrown back in. Soby takes it out of the ruck contest, puts boot to ball, goes into their half-forward line, going back. Marcus taken there by Ezard, plucked that out there nicely. He's looking at his options. He's got players running. Crombie's going to be the first of those. He's the deepest player. It goes in his direction. Kept his eye on the ball, took the mark, and he has a great opportunity here to go back and kick it goal. He's now going to take that chance inside 50, and obviously distance I wouldn't think will be a problem here.
Could be 5 votes.
So Benny Crombie has one for the afternoon. A chance now to go back, look at his second of the afternoon, and take East Geelong to 10 goals for the day. Steps in. Kick wasn't great off the boot. Not going to make the distance, but I thought it wasn't going to matter because Hoff took the mark, but it was spoiled, and now Winch come away with the ball, bring it out towards centre wing. Ball gets through the contest. O'Connell with a great opportunity here. Picks the ball up. Tries to run and dash, does so. Was good chase from behind there. And the ball now runs into the half-forward line. Parrish run past Monaghan, but he's now got the front position. Goes back and collects it. Tried to get the ball out. Strong tackle. McLaughlin. Umpire said incorrect disposal. So good work, Finn Parrish. And he has won a free kick inside their 50. Goes short as the siren sounds. Mark won't be paid. And the score will remain as it is. 9-5 to East Geelong. 6-4 to Winchelsea. Goal kickers to this stage, Will Hoff has 2, 1 each to Crombie, Smith, Simons, Mulville, Osselbrook, Lowndes and Bartel. And for the Winchelsea side, 2 each to Simons and Marnicky, 1 each to Cook and Gould. Come back shortly. We'll have final score. We'll have scores from around the grounds. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The region's
that third quarter, Winch seemed to have a lot more of the ball and a lot more attacking play, but couldn't quite respond. Before we go to Tig for his thoughts, around the grounds, Anarchy 10-9-69 leading Inverleigh 9-7-61. Bannockburn 15-7-97 leading Belpo still 6-6-42. Werribee 12-9-81 leading Thompson 5-8-38. Belmont 11-6-72 leading North 6-3-39. Corio 14-12 leading the Giants 7-6-48. So 48 points there at all in one oval.
And if could I just add one shout out in the Rezzies? Corio 1 point winners over Geelong West. So only Corio's second Rezzies win for the year, but Geelong West defeated Inverleigh last week. So I think on paper that's a massive win for the club.
That is fantastic, mate. I like the way you actually do your research as a GDFNL manager, media manager.
Well, I could have just made that up for all you never know.
And I don't care. I don't care if you did. Tig, what do you think of the third quarter, mate, and the first 3 quarters so far?
I thought East Geelong were in top in the middle and most other departments leading into the main break. And I'm looking at the scoreboard, I'm looking at the screen we have in the box. It says 59-40, and it just, from what we saw from Winchelsea in parts when Finn Parrish was on the ground, it didn't feel that way. He goes off for 4 minutes, whether it was injury concern or just a general rotation, and bang, East Geelong just kick off. I think, what was it? 2 goals, 1 in the space of 3 or 4 minutes. So the Eagles, they mean business in season 2024. I've mentioned twice already in this coverage on the Blues front that they're on paper, they're good defensively. They're missing Tav Sawney in the middle. This is also Caleb Brown's first game back since round 4. So you guys didn't see how he went in the opening month, but I haven't seen the Caleb Brown that I'm used to this afternoon, so hopefully he gets a bit more of the footy around the stoppage. East Geelong, as great as they've been playing, it's really hard for me to just pin it down on 1, 2 or even 3 players because, Grubby's man Slowy, Sam Lowe, he'll get a fair bit of the footy in the opening quarter and then just play his part. Defensively on the last line of defence, Fanning only had 1 touch last week because he sacrificed his game playing on Bosley. Whereas this week, now he's found enough of the footy. That's probably a better way of putting it. But Lee's put himself out of the game and spoiling everything that comes to their key forwards. So, yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this last quarter. I'm still going with the Eagles at this stage, but there are positive signs in patches for the Blues.
The other one, I think, Dale, from last week is Jordan Huff up forward. Him and Gould were fantastic, weren't they?
Yeah, they worked pretty well together. That's the thing. They take one out. But Brown, that's usually he would normally be a bloke I would probably chuck forward. He's a good grab of football, so it may be an option in the last quarter. Chance him out of the middle and maybe look at your options to put him forward and see what he can do down there. Another tall option down there, and another player that will take a fair bit of marking. So, yeah, look, it's not without. If they can play a resemblance of the they played in the second half last week, Winchelsea, they're not without a chance to get themselves back in this game and possibly win the game of football, but they're just not. They get one, but then East answers straight away. They've got to be able to put 2 or 3 together on end and apply a bit more pressure to East Geelong. And if they can do that, well, you never know what will happen. But I think East Geelong doing enough just to win this game, I think.
Brown's gone back in the middle, mate. So over in the Ballerine, Anglesea 91, Geelong Abbott 35.
Wow.
56 points.
Didn't see that one. Anglesea.
Anglesea over Amos. Barwon heads to 7 points up over Queenscliff, 56 to 49. Mottawarri 79, Newcombe 22. Drysdale have kicked away from Ocean Grove, 61-33, and Torquay 101. Port Arlington are 50. So games have opened up in that league. Instead of ours, I'm just see if I refresh the scores before we get going. Must be Anarchy are now 14 points up, so 75 to 61 there. Werribee. Still 55 points in front. Belmont 34. Cry have kicked another goal, and so have West, so still 48 points there. So here we go, Dale. Final quarter action.
Righto, ball with the umpire and it's thrown in the air. Sobey doing the ruck work. Again, this time Gould lets the ball down, goes towards centre wing, picked up by Brown. He's tackled by McIntyre. Umpire very quickly. Let's have it back here and we'll do things once again. Actually, it's Maloney doing the ruck work. Ball from Sobey. Comes outside. Tim's got the handball away into the hands of Cale. Cale goes back inside to Maloney. He's tackled, got boot the ball. Parrish had it, lost it, picked up by Sobey. Boots the ball, goes into the half-forward line. Mark not taken out there by Mulville. Went back and got it. Handball's outside to McIntyre. Did enough just to give himself free. Back into the hands of Mulville now. And he goes long into their forward line. In front, Ezard protected the space nicely but couldn't finish the mark off and ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in which will take place inside forward 50
Tim's
for the East Geelong side.
The big one too, mate, Smith going off the ground. That should free Cale up to a bit more running.
I'd almost put Cale in the midfield, even half-forward flank. What do you got to lose? If he's kick another goal at this stage.
So Parrish brings the ball out to Boulavalis. Boulavalis to Brown. His kick was smothered. Back to the hands of Boulavalis. That was a nice little kick. Found Rouget. Whether by chance or not, but it doesn't matter. It's in his hands, and he has the ball outside their defensive 50 now. Tim's looking at a shorter option. And Rouget not too sure where he wants to go to, but he decides to come along the boundary now. Out towards Gould. He's marked a lot of the balls. This time he won't, as the ball is belted back over the line by Lee. So we'll have a throw-in which will take place.
Keep going, Dale. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I will. Don't worry about that, Spider. So umpire with the ball now, as I said. Sobey doing the ruck work. Maloney's also down here with it now. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Sobey did that nicely. Handball, or got the ball out the back. Didn't go too far. Kicked off the ground, and again, some nice work. Mark has been taken out there, and O'Connell, he looks to play on and go into their forward line, has a player into the pocket. That was a good kick. I thought it was a good kick, but Lee read that nicely, came across, and he is intercepted and takes the mark for East Geelong. So now called the play on by the umpire, and he looks to deliver long back towards centre wing. Sobey, front position, ball out the back, or knocked towards the boundary line and over. So we will have a throw-in which will take place. Not too far from where we sit, but I'll let Spider take over.
Sure,
We've gone
mate.
2 minutes 20, and it's 9-5 East Geelong, 6-4 Winchelsea.
So Sobey and Maloney about to do the ruck work from the boundary line throw-in. Ball's up in the air now. Sobey's using his body, but Maloney gets a handle, knocks it over the back only as far as Low. He lunges through. He's tackled. He's going to be dropping the ball. That's a great tackle there.
I'm glad Gruppy didn't see that.
Kersop Cole goes to Cale. Cale goes over to Parrish. That's Cassidy. He drives Winch forward into attack. Ball punched to the ground. Picked up by Mars. He does very, very nicely to spin around. Tip the ball over towards Low. Sticks the hands up right in front of the boundary umpire. So no doubt about that one. So Sam Lowe for East Geelong right in front of the cricket nets here at Richmond Crescent. Told now to move the ball on, so it'll come long down the line. That's not a great kick off the boot. And, okay, umpire said that's okay. Bartel takes the mark, chips the ball in towards McIntyre. McIntyre now has time, decides to go in short. It's a nice little kick to Zimmer. Zimmer now chips one over the top, goes to Low, but it's chopped off by Welsh. Welsh runs forward now. Got players in space, not a great kick in. Sobey comes in to help. Morris doing well. McIntyre just says, I'll have that one, picks it up. Has Bartel out wide here. Bartel does well to control the ball. Has Cassidy Parrish in front of him. Looks to go to handball. Swings on the left foot down the line. Mulville flies high and takes a fantastic grab right in front of the commentary box. So centre wing here for Mulville. He chips the ball over top looking for Ezard. He's in a great spot. He just puts the big hands up in front of Welsh. Welsh tried to use the body. Didn't quite work. So Ezard now for East Geelong, looking at his options down there. This is where they miss Smith because they can go long if they have to. He goes in short to McKinnon. That's a nice kick. Patient lead. Now McKinnon swings the ball long down the line. Nearly taken there by Budavalis, but rushed through for a minor score. Takes East Geelong to 9-6, 60, leading Winch 6-4, 40. We've ticked over 4.5 minutes. Connect our final quarter. So the ball brought back in by Bailey Cale. Goes short. Looking for options now further up the ground. So nice long kick down the line towards the big blokes in the middle there. Ball punched forward. No, Mark has been paid to Gould, so he's done well. Must have got first hands on it. I thought maybe Lee got the fist in, but umpire didn't see it that way. He comes wide out here looking for Parrish. Just does enough to get there. Finn Parrish takes the mark, takes off. Got Maloney out here. Also, he's got Marnicky. Marnicky had it, lost it. Had enough time to recover. Chips the ball in nicely into the centre of the corridor. Ball goes over everyone. At the back, picked up there by Bartel. Nice handball over top to Low. Low feeds the ball to Alsabrook. Alsabrook on the right boot. Long down the line, looking in the Crombie direction. Done fantastically well. Took a great mark. Nearly went to play on looking for Zimmer, but held it up. Now he's got Low running through the middle. That's where he goes to. Finds Sam Low. Just forward of the centre circle here at Richmond Crescent. He has runners everywhere. Comes out looking for Mulville. Mulville in front, protects the ball. Umpire's paid the chopping of the arms. Zimmer plays on immediately and has missed. So Lachlan Zimmer with his first contribution, the 7th behind now. So 9-7 to East Geelong, 6-4 to Winch. We've ticked over nearly 6 minutes. Connect to our final quarter.
So ball at the full-back position now, and it's going to go clubroom side. Not too well. It was going to go clubroom side. Changed his mind and came back to the pocket. And Cale will take the mark. He's going to go back the other way now. And now he changes also. Walsh got the ball now. Put himself under a fair bit of pressure here. East Geelong have got some numbers around the contest now. Ball picked up. Mulville got the handle outside. Went to Ezard. Ezard went to King. King outside to McIntyre. In the pocket, Huff. And he will take the mark inside the field of play. And a chance now to go back and shoot for goal. So Will Hoff has got the ball, I reckon, about 30 metres out, but he's right on the boundary line.
I'm sure all his Resi's teammates encouraging him just to the right of the screen there. Of course, big win for their 12 o'clock side under Nathan Berry, and there's an assist right here.
Ball comes back inside, and McIntyre it is now with the opportunity to go back and kick for goal. Doesn't kick a lot, I wouldn't think, but there's an opportunity here for the 10th goal for East Geelong. And again, we have a good line of sight with McIntyre kicking. King went to the pocket, was going to offer a lead, but has a player with him now. So McIntyre takes it upon himself. Looks nice off the boot. Looks very nice off the boot, straight through the middle. He has his first of the afternoon, and the 10th now for East Geelong. They are 10-7, 6-4 to Winchelsea. 7 minutes gone. His Connectel final quarter scoreboard.
And just in the background, as we just pause in front of the East Geelong room, Smith's actually walking inside their change room, just to the right there, just a bit more. So that's the last we'll see of him. He's just walking in there now. So that's one of their goal-kicking options. We'll cover him in cotton wool because there is a massive month ahead, which we'll touch on as the rest of this final quarter progresses. Brilliant work by the Music Workshop camera team, as always.
So back in the middle now. Ball in the air. Maloney wins that one down to Cassidy Parrish. He's grabbed without the ball. We'll take the free kick right in the centre circle now to drive Winch into attack. Looking at his options. Decides to swing wide to Gemmell. Gemmell takes it and runs. Great closing speed there by Mulville, but doesn't affect the kick. Ball long. Lee comes across. The big double one up was Dixon. Double fist. Knocks it out of bounds. I was going to say there, Alex, you did really well. You're a grubby sort of thing. You're pointing to the camp. You're pointing to the screen here, saying that's where he was. No one else can see that except you, mate. So, anyway, ball to be thrown back in, deep in Winch's attacking zone. So Sobey will do the ruck. It doesn't look like he's got anyone to go up against. So he just double fists the ball a long way away. McIntyre goes to pick it up, but the boundary line wins. Sobey's probably gained 15 metres there for Winch. For East, so right on the 50-metre line here. The Cadinia Park end of the ground.
De Grandies, you mean?
Oh,
Got to look after the sponsors.
Well, that was okay, fair enough. So that was Brown, tried to knock that one forward, but it falls in the hands of Fanning. Fanning goes to McIntyre. McIntyre to Monaghan. Great smother there by Welsh. Plenty of support to help him out. Ball falls to Marnick. He's wrapped up, knocked over. Umpire said he was taken high. And we'll take the free kick. So Marnick, 70 from his own goal. Centres the ball now. Nice looking kick in the middle there. Held up there was Welsh. Welsh has been very good again today. So he plays on, drives Winch wide out there looking for Gould. Lee gets in front, went to fist, missed that one. So Gould on the ground. Got the support, but the free kick has been paid now. Sam Lowe holding on without when Gould didn't have the ball. So Gould chips the ball over, looking for the direction of Simons. He stopped and propped. Ball comes over the top, finds his way to Lowe. Lowe, quick handball out again. Bartel done really well, goes to McLaughlin. McLaughlin drives down the lawn looking for Mulville. Mulville flies, bring the ball to ground. Ball goes out of bounds. In between the two coaches' box, far side from where we sit. Here at Richmond Crescent, we're about to take over 10 minutes. Connect to our final quarter here. GDFNL match of the round. So Sobey and Maloney to do battle from the boundary line throw. Maloney wins front position, but taps the ball down only as far as Crombie. Crombie gets a quick kick away, but it's intercepted by Winch. Ball belted forward again, goes through the hands of Mars. Really done really well there. Over the back was Cook. Couldn't quite get back to pick it up again. Running through McLaughlin, but he went without it. The ball trickles over the boundary line. Deep in attack now for Winch. About 25 metres round from the behind post. So 10.5 gone. Connect to our final quarter here at Richmond Crescent.
So ball in the pocket to be thrown back in. Front position taken by Brown. Ball comes down towards McIntyre. Picked the ball up, was tackled there straight away by Cassidy Parrish. Ball to ground. Umpire will come in and take possession of it. Another ball up. Ball comes out of that contest. Parrish got out of the trouble nicely. Handballs across. Went to Simons. He couldn't get a kick on the ball. Again, it's picked up. Well, that was a kick over the back of his head. That was a good attempt, but it didn't go the right direction. And the ball has gone over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in, which will take place forward pocket area. So Winchelsea still with an opportunity.
How are the Roos looking?
14 points up, mate. It must be three-quarter time because the scores... Yeah, it is. The scores haven't moved.
So the ball now thrown back in, and every player's in one half or even nearly a third of the field here. Cale goes back inside. Good spoil up there from East Geelong. Now goes back towards Lowe. He picks the ball up. Well, he's tackled. Did he get rid of it correctly? Umpire said no, he didn't. Free kick is going to go to Winchelsea. The recipient will be Gould, I think. Looks like him with the ball in his hand.
Yes, it does. They're all running in there, Dale.
Yeah, no, it's nice. So he'll go back and pretty much from about 15 metres out directly in front of goal. An opportunity for him to kick his second and the seventh for Winchelsea.
Werribee 63 points in front.
Pretty casual approach. He wanted to kick it. He does. So he's pretty happy about it, and so are the Winchelsea teammates. They now move to 7-4. They trail East Geelong on 10-7. We've ticked over 12 minutes. Final quarter, Connectel, final quarter scoreboard.
Oh, that's amazing with the Werribee score. When I saw that opening quarter against Bannockburn a few weeks back. I think I texted you boys saying, look, they're up by 40. They should be up by about 60, 65, but you won't see a quarter like that again. Fast forward a fortnight later, and, you know, Thompson's no pushover. So, wowee, that is massive.
Yeah. Anyway, ball back in the middle now. So, McKinnon now to do battle with Maloney. Ball down straight to the feet. No one wins that tap. So, I think they have another secondary ball up right in the same spot, right in the centre circle. Umpire says that is so. I'll have that one, thank you. So we'll see Maloney, McKinnon do battle. McKinnon just does really well. Taps that ball down to McIntyre quickly on the left foot. Out wide here, the race is on. Finn Parrish leads in the race. Lowndes does really well. Knocks him off the ball, then fumbled at the end. Andrew, fantastic hands over the top. Finds Mulville, has a bounce. Trying to run it for Gemmell. Done really well there as support. Gets the ball back into Andrew. Andrew wrapped up in a tackle. Might be in trouble here, I reckon.
Absolutely has to be.
Have to be in trouble, and the umpire says yes. Now, I don't get that. That's over the boundary line, so the ball's dead. Should have been anyway, but anyway, so Budavalis now, he's played on. Andrew overcommitted, so he's still made him force the ball down the line. McIntyre just uses his strength. Again, just another fantastic showing by John McIntyre here, the East Geelong skipper. Not a lot of movement, so he just goes long towards the big, tall target, and it probably has missed it. The boundary umpire says no, it was touched, going over the line.
Looked like it was well over me where I sat.
Well, I saw a Freddie Swiftmark replay earlier in the second half, so I'm not sure about this one.
You're looking at a wall, mate. You can't see anything. So ball about to be thrown in now by the young boundary umpire. McKinnon finds front spot, gets a handball down really well. McIntyre on the right boot, drives East Geelong forward to get into the hot spot. Coming out as a huff, he just left it behind, so gives Winch a chance to clear. Ball coming out, Mars runs straight at it, punches the ball back into attack. Wrapped up in a tackle there was Nagel, not going anywhere. Umpire comes in and says, I'll have it. So 45 metres out from the East Geelong goal. They're currently 21 points in front here, and we've ticked over 14.5 Connectel final quarter. Ball in the air. McKinnon done really well to McIntyre. McIntyre throws on the boot. Kick was smothered as it went, but heard another whistle again about to stop play. Mars in a good spot here to take the mark. Doesn't in the end. Great pick up there. Quick hands out. Finds Maloney. Maloney kicks Winch forward again. Ball punched to ground. Good play here by the East Geelong side. That's very well done by Fanning. Fanning goes over McLaughlin. McLaughlin just measures his kick. Finds a teammate here. True centre wing. Clubroom side of the ground. Move the ball quickly, have a look. Crombie finds a bit of space. Now he's marked the ball on the half-forward line here for East Geelong. Drives the ball long down the line. Looking for Huff. He's probably interfered with in that. Nearly took the mark anyway. The umpire says nothing to do here. I'll ball it up. It could have been a free kick, I would have thought there, Dale.
Looked a close spot from here.
Yeah, but, you know, we're a long way away from here, so we're not that close. Anyway, umpire called his seat. He was right on the spot. Ball in the air. Ezard wins that one out. But only as far as Budavalis, who drives the ball forward. Monaghan does really well to trap it, but then couldn't take with it. Marnicky picks the ball up, goes over the top, goes to Berg. Berg trips the ball over the top here looking for Cook. The players can't see as it rolls off Cook's back. McKinnon done really well. Gets the handball out to Lee. Lee now to McLaughlin. McLaughlin comes out wide. That's another great kick. So Betty Crombie right in front of the commentary box. Trips the ball over to Sam Lowe. So Sam, Richard Grubby-Cations Low now with the ball. Another little short kick. Possession players on here. So Bartel has the ball now. 70 metres from his own goal. Players move. Still got plenty of space, but he decides to go out wide. That is not a great kick. Boundary umpire.
Don't tell me that's in still.
Well, the boundary umpire blew his hand to say, put his hand up, so it was out of bounds. Well, it can't be both. And he has said no, it was out of bounds on the full. Good work by the young fella to change the decision. Anyway, Budavalis brings by into Carly, plays on straight away. Handball over the top isn't great, but Finn Parrish does really well. Comes long down the line, Low makes great position to take the mark. So East Geelong will go back into attack. Short kick, it's a fantastic grab there taken by Simons. He chips ball over the top again. Ezard leading out. So Ezard has the ball. We'll be kicking from 50, I think, here. I reckon he might kick this one, Tig. Could be the old lady might be warming up the tonsils, buddy.
Oh, he's wearing my playing number, 27, so I hope he does it justice. He's kicked 11 for the season leading into today, but 6 have come in the last 2 big wins. This won't be a big win margin-wise, but big in terms of premiership statements. Let's see how he goes, boys.
He called the play on, gets right into the man on the mark, gets home to it. I tell you what, he's got every bit of that one. Caleb Ezard has his first, and that is the 11th now for East Geelong. They move to 11-7, leading Winch, who are 7-4. Dale, that was a fantastic catch. Your drink nearly went out. We have travelled 18 minutes. Connect to our final quarter here at Richmond Crescent.
I'm sitting in Grubby's chair, and what Grubby's good at is finding areas of improvement. That's the nicest way of putting it for both sides. East Geelong, for me, have just ticked every single box. There was a few sloppy handballs in the second term, but other than that, look at that. 2 premiership contenders, and they're up by 5 goals.
So the ball back in the middle of the ground, as we said, it's taken out of there. Went to Olsen Brooks, couldn't he? He went after it again. Now he's going to end up with it, and he will emerge from the middle of the ground, goes long into their forward line. Hoff out in front, good hands. He will take the mark, and he can go back, look at his third of the afternoon. Changes his mind and goes across the ground, and well, I won't know whether that's any closer, but he's given it to Lowndes to look at his second goal now. So Lowndes will kick, as I said, probably from about 40.
Back to 2 points at Inverleigh, mate.
Oh.
So Lowndes now steps in, kicks that goal. It looks okay off the boot. It is holding its line. Umpire said, yes, it will be okay. He has got his second and the 12th now for East Geelong. 12-7. They lead Winchelsea on 7-4. 19 minutes gone. Connect tell final quarter scoreboard.
You know, Lowndes is another player that's in contention because he's had 2 of the toughest opponents in the Winchelsea lineup, and he still bops up forward and kicks 2 goals. 2 goals straight or 2?
Yes, mate, 2 straight.
2 straight. So every box is ticked, and as I keep mentioning throughout this broadcast, you've got the likes of Beardsell and co that need to still come back into this side.
So back in the middle now. McKinnon and Morris back in now. Ball's tapped down. Parrish overruns it, but Bartel does really well. Taps it out to Zimmer. Zimmer can't break a tackle, but does get a handball away. Apparently, no, the umpire said you didn't. So the free kick will go to Kersop Cole. He handballs all across to Parrish, who handballs the ball out wide to O'Connell. O'Connell goes one way or the other. He gets a handball back into Brown. Brown dispossessed straight away. Picked up there by Ossobrook. Very quickly gets the handball out. McKinnon in space. Leading forward, coming at him was Half. Done really well. That ball seemed to be swirling around, but now he's got no one. So he's just bombed the ball long, and that is a fantastic kick into space, isn't it, Dale?
Yep.
That is brilliant. He had absolutely no one forward of him. Knew that Melville could run into the space and just hit him perfectly. He's got a fantastic set of hands, though. You're right, mate. It's 2 really good grabs he's taken in the last 5 minutes. Under pressure. So, Melville, who he has 1-2 for the afternoon. Looking to kick the 13th now for East Geelong. Comes in, crosses the 50-metre line now, swings on that out in that left foot, and it's gone left, stayed left, and gone through for another minor score. So 12-7 to East Geelong. Melville's total for the day is 1-3. They lead Winch, who are 7-4. We've gone 21 minutes. Connect to our final quarter.
Oh, Parrish with a barrel from the full-back position, goes long into the middle of the ground, went straight to the hands of Brown. He decides to play on, moving the ball nicely. That's a good kick, favours his teammate in Cook. Just needs a favourable bounce, but he got the speedster right beside him. He needs to work pretty hard. He did so. He kept his feet, got the handball away into the hands of Ellis. On the left boot, goes back towards the goals. He won't bring it back far enough through for a minor score. Lee Ellis, 3 behinds today. 7-5 for the Winchelsea side and 12-8 East Geelong. And we've ticked over 21.5. So if they're going to do something, they need to do it very quickly. So the ball now to be delivered outside from the full-back position. Mark will be taken out there by Melville, and he dives and takes the mark. So he can go back inside. That will be okay. Monaghan. Monaghan now called to play on by the umpire. Goes in short to Zimmer. Again, they've kept possession of the ball. So just running some time out here. Billy Andrew in a bit of space by himself. He wants to use him. He's finally seen him, and he goes in that direction. Takes the mark. Dixon will be the next player, and that's where it goes. So Winchelsea now just need to man up, but Dixon goes short again. Kick wasn't great. Mark not taken out there, but numbers with East Geelong. Now Winchelsea gets some numbers around the contest. Umpire says he hasn't dragged that back in. Might have been lucky. And we will have a ball up on the far side. So thrown up very quickly by the umpire. Morris did nicely. Osselbrook takes it out of the contest, goes to King. King over the top. Running player outside Lowndes. Lowndes goes round the body and into the forward line. They did that very nicely. And McKinnon just eased his opponent under it, then gave it away. Needs to go back and collect it. Nice work from Henry. He's tackled, brought to ground. So we will have a throw up, and it will be right on the, or just outside the forward 50 for East Geelong. As we tick towards 23 minutes, it's 12-8 East Geelong, 7-5 Winchelsea.
So ball about thrown in the air. McKinnon and Morris do ruck work. Morris did a full pirouette there, gets the ball to ground. Osselbrook attacks it, couldn't quite pick it up below his feet, but does well. Then gets a handball out. Parrish picks it up, wrapped up in the tackle, brought to ground. And we'll have it all done again about 10 metres away from where the last one was. So Winch have just advanced it forward. So about to tick over 23.5. Connectel final quarter here. East Geelong in control of this game. Ball goes into the air, so Morris wins that one down. Picked up there by Osselbrook, wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire, what's he going to say? He's saying he sat over it, didn't try and get rid of it. So the free kick will go to Cassidy Parrish. He handballs the ball to Carl. Carl goes over the top to O'Connor. Puts him under pressure, but he puts the afterburners on. Done well there. Gets a handball away now. Another nice kick from Finn Parrish into space. Couldn't find Marnicky, couldn't take the mark. Done well at the ground level. Handball's back to Kearsop Cole, who overruns it. And it does well to get it back to Cook. Cook puts the ball in a dangerous spot towards Gould. Lee did really well there, knocked the ball to ground. East Geelong fighting hard in defence. Ball picked up now, handballed into a dangerous spot. Freeman stopped prop, couldn't quite get to it. So fighting for the ball on the ground now again is Low, I think, at the bottom of the pack there.
Benny Crombie.
Oh, was it Crombie, was it? He's everywhere now. Oh, yep. So, there's Low out there, mate. So, you're right, was Benny Crombie. So, we've got a free kick here to Ellis, have we? Pinned him for dragging the ball in, did he? There you go. Missed that one. So, Lee Ellis now having a shot from 15, 20 metres out, directly in front almost. Coming in now, kicking towards the Gideon Park end. This time he makes absolutely no mistake. He gets his first for the afternoon. He gets the 8 for Winch. They move to 8-4, trailing East Geelong, who are on 12 goals. I've got them 12 goals, 8. That's correct. So there we go. We've gone 25 minutes. Connect our final quarter.
Well, now the scoreline's starting to really tell the story. I've mentioned Winchelsea's results this year. It's been 2 kicks in it against premiership contenders in Bannockburn, in Werribee. Belmont was only 5 goals. Thompson was only 10 points. Winchelsea kicked more goals than Thompson in round 1. So all of those losses were still thereabouts, but you look at the margin right now, still need to kick a few more to keep that sequence going.
Right, impressive at the day. 125. Ball in the middle of the ground. Ball comes out. Again, Winchelsea through Freeman. Can't win possession of it, but Brown is there to help out, and he goes long into their forward line. Mark required down there. Spoils from behind. They go back and they tap it out wide. Goes in the hands of Dixon. Needs to get the handball away. Did so. Didn't find his teammate, though. Cook, he went back after it. He was tackled, and he will be held up. Umpire said, was it high? No, it is not. It's going to be a ball up in the forward line. Winchelsea are pressing, but again, too much to do with not too much time left in the game, you wouldn't think. Ball from that contest is back over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw-in which will take place. So Brown says, I'll do some ruck work down here late in the game. And Sobey will be doing it for East Geelong. Sobey obviously wins the ball down, goes to the front. Maybe Marnicky had it. No, it wasn't. It was O'Connell. And again, the ball back over the boundary line, so umpire to repeat the last. 12 points at Inverleigh too. The moment spot, I think that's right. So Anarchy doing a very, very good job out there. And the ball from that ruck contest is thrown in.
2 points, mate, now. Back
that's
to 2 points.
There
2
you go.
points.
That's changed very quickly.
When was the last time Anarchy won out there?
Yeah, a while,
There's
I would
one
think.
for the...
Since our lead districts.
So the play on now,
Possibly.
McIntyre emerges with the ball, goes out wide into the hands of Fanning. His kick along the boundary line wasn't great. Monahan will be the first one to pick the ball up. Goes back inside by hand. McIntyre follows up as he does. Goes on the left hand and was going to give it out, but then runs over the boundary line. And we will have a throw-in which will take place deep in Winchelsea's attack. Again, Sobey doing the ruck work. This time Parrish doing the for Winch, goes to Brown with a nice tap. He is held up very quickly. No prior there. Umpire, good decision. So ball with the umpire again, thrown up very quickly. Sobey with his height gets the ball out, goes towards Monahan. Again, couldn't get clearance from that position. McIntyre picks it up. Little handball to Bartel. Bartel on the left boot goes with a spiral kick, runs back towards centre wing. Tapped on there by Ezard over the top. They run the ball into their forward line now, East Geelong. It's going to be a dash for the cash. Ball long. Will it sit? Will it run? No, it won't. It's going to be kicked off the ground. He didn't get much contact. It's been forced over. And a minor score will be registered, so it'll be final score will read East Geelong 12-9 will defeat Winchelsea 8-5. Goal kicks for the day, Hoff with 2 and Lowndes with 2, 1 each to Crombie, Smith, Simons, Ezard, Mulville, Oswaldbrook, McIntyre and Bartel. And for the Winchelsea side, 3 each to Gould, Simons and Markey, 1 each to Aaron Cook and Ellis. So that was the 8 for them. Look, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We'll have hopefully some final scores from around the other grounds, award our votes, and that could be very interesting. And hopefully
tough.
We'll also decide where we're going to head to next week. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Back here at Richmond Crescent. Polish Brass sounds like a great show at 6:05 on the Pulse on a Monday morning. I was going to say something there, but I better not. We're on air. So anyway, the result of this game: see East Geelong 12-9-81 defeat Winchelsea 8-5-53 by 28 points to carry on their winning ways after their first round stumble against Bellpost Hill. So 3, 3, 3 and 3 they've kicked through the game to 1, 3, 2, 2. So it's been a fairly even spread across it. Now, other games are still live. We have finished quite earlier today. So Inverleigh 92 lead Anarchy 82. Bannockburn 117 lead Balpo still 54. Werribee 126 lead Thompson 59. Belmont 86 lead North Geelong 63. Corio 125 lead Geelong West 66. And for those who follow the Ballerina, apparently no one else gives the score, so we do. Anglesea 130 lead Geelong Amateur 47. 83 points. Barwon Heads 106 lead Queenscliff 49. I don't think Queenscliff scored since half time. Motta 103, Newcombe 32, Drysdale 69, Ocean Grove 35, and Torquay 113 lead Port 58. Gentlemen, how did we see the game?
Well, East Geelong, Belmont and Werribee were probably my three contenders as we lead into that halfway point of the season. And Winchelsea they've got a 2-6 record now. A lot of those losses were by small margins to some very top sides. This one they were good in patches, but East Geelong I just thought beat them on all three bits of the field. I could be wrong in your opinions, but it was very hard to find criticism for East Geelong's lineup today.
Thanks, mate. You're as bad as insightful as Grubby, aren't you? Hey?
I don't know what else I'm supposed to tell you. They've got just such a spread of goal kickers. Didn't have Smith at the end of the last 10 minutes of the game. Didn't even matter. You know, that's where Lowndes pops up, kicks his second. That's where Mulvihill probably gets about 5-6 marks, probably inside that 60. But he's not that deep forward that just goes back like your Lucas Murphys back in the day, Sean O'Leary's. Now, in this state of play in the year 2024, they're more excited about the goal assists than the actual goals themselves. And you know what? It's actually working for them. That's the scary part.
Disappointed as a full forward. That's more important. Dale, any thoughts, mate, before we go into our sponsor thank yous, 3, 2, 1s, and where we're going to go next week?
Yeah, look, as I said, it was probably... The game never reached any really great heights, I wouldn't think. When it was good, it was really good. But then there was a lot of passages where it was held in and condensed. And I think both sides would have liked to have got it out and have been free running. Because, as I said, when they both did that, they both looked far better sides to watch playing football. Winch, as I said, coming off that big win last week, I expected they probably would get beaten today, but I was just looking to see where they were at. It's given me an indication that they're not too far back, but having now been 2-6, now you're starting to become a long way back, and you can't afford to sort of drop too much more, knowing that, obviously, I'm not too sure what their run's like in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
I might go through it with you if you want.
Well, that'd be good. If you can let me what Winch have got in the next 4 weeks, that would be good.
Right, so next week, they play host to the Hawks.
Right, danger. But Inverleigh not playing that well either at the moment. So
that's right. We'll all have the week off.
Yep.
They return from that back at home. So this is actually the Blues' last away game for the next 25 days. They'll play host to Geelong West after that.
That's a winnable game at home.
Very winnable.
Yep.
They'll then travel, so 25 days from now, they're back on the road against Anarchy, which prior to today's scoreline, I thought would be a bit more gettable.
Well, it's still gettable, but again, that now becomes a danger game for them. So where we would have thought if they had beaten East Geelong today, they could have gone on a little bit of a roll and a run, but they are now out of that. They're a win and a loss, I would think, and that game is a question mark.
And so by that stage, everyone's played everyone. They then start the month of July playing host to Thompson. Now, remember, in round 1, at the Town and Country Pizza Oval, Winchelsea kicked more goals, but Thompson had more of the footy. They got up by 10 points. If Thompson don't, recover from today's match, the Blues might even enter that game as favourite. You never know.
That's another one that's going to be questionable about which way it will fall. And it depends on which Thompson turn up, because, as I said today, I would think that would be disappointed with their efforts up at the duck pond. But having said that, Werribee are playing some pretty good football at the present time, and have only lost 1 or 2 for this season. So they're travelling pretty nicely. So that's a good enough draw, because they've got some games at home, but it's not clear cut that they will win. If they can get away with 2, I reckon they would be happy. They should win 3. If they're real lucky, but again, they're just getting that little bit back from where they'd need to be with the top 4 or 5 sides, I would think.
Dissecting the Winchelsea lineup, I want to ask both of you guys,
Yep.
All the Hoffen votes went to O'Connell last week.
Yep.
I didn't see last week's game. What did O'Connell do against the Panthers last week that he didn't do today?
Run and dash.
Whatever
Run,
he wanted.
dash, carry. Pretty
Whatever
much.
he wanted.
Really?
He was a good mover. He moved the ball through their middle of the ground and into their forward line. I would have hated to have seen how many times he delivered the ball into their forward 50, but he just ran, he carried, and then and what he didn't do with that, he actually did himself. So, yeah, different game today, different opposition, wasn't allowed. Probably a little bit more attention may have been paid to him after his last week's game if they had sat back and watched his game, stop his run and carry, because that's what he did so well last week.
I also thought he was pretty good today. I didn't think he was he's worse by 5 inches. I thought he still run and carried. But
yeah,
I think Dale was spot on. The as we said last week, become a bit of a boys versus men game, and today it wasn't. So you're not going to get that opportunity. And when you get tackled and knocked, it hurts you a little bit more. So you lose a little bit of that. Belpo still and Bano is final, 117-54. It's a 59-minute mark of the first quarter at Corio, so someone hasn't reset the clock. They are 10 goals up over East Geelong. Belmont have kicked away to a 37-point lead over North. And the game at Moreton Power is still 10 points at 92-82. And I believe we are, what are we? Come on. Oh, you stupid scorecard thing. We're about 26 minutes into the last. So that game won't be far from being over. But anyway, look, that was probably the difference, mate, with 20. You get bumped and you get knocked and you get hurt, mate, and she's a bit of a different game. So you don't recover as well when you get picked up. So anyway, I'm just trying to get where I was, mate. I've just completely lost everything.
Well, you keep doing that. I did my little research with the sponsors, and I'll have a crack at them when we reach that Elvis hour period here on the Pulse. But the 4 names I had for East Geelong prior to the game, I've associated each of them with different feedback. The coach said Crombie before the game, and I thought magnificent. We won't go through the votes just yet, but how good was that? Commentators, I'm not speaking for all of you, but I believe the man in this chair likes to talk up Sam Lowe, and now that I've seen him live, I thought, you know what? His skills were pretty silky throughout that first half especially. The stats have always said McIntyre, and I think that proved it. And the bloke that was quiet last week, I mentioned in the third quarter, sacrificing his game against Anarchy, was Jaden Fanning. I want to ask you two how you thought he went this game, because I think he attacked the ball a bit more once the ball was down there.
Yeah, again, I don't know whether he's played a lot of footy over recent times. I think it was his first game back last week. So again, against an opposition last week, and when they're winning the ball like they would have been last week, you wouldn't have seen a lot of it. Today, I thought his job back there was serviceable, but what he adds now to this side is you've got both him, Lee, even McKinnon, I think, played a bit down back at different stages over recent weeks. They've got 3 talls now that can take some taller options if they have to go that way. And the other bloke's Dixon, that now provides that extra. He looks like he's a good size, can play tall or small, and you throw in Monahan and who else plays down back?
Simons is everywhere today.
He was a bit of a rough down there, but as I said, they've got a lot. Oh, Ali Mars is the other bloke. So they've got a really good blend now, and if they can stay sound at that end of the ground, they've got a good mix. Inside, Sobey at the start of the season, to me, I watched him. I thought, well, I think he's going to struggle when they get to a bigger ground in into St Albans, but today was probably I'm not saying his best game, but it's the best game I've seen him play, because he not only wins possession in the middle of the ball, he's now getting himself back, and he gets back with ease. He gets back into their defence and takes some good telling marks. He is a good user of the ball. He knows when he has to handball, and he gives the bait off to the running player, but his kicking ability is, for ruckman, as I said, we close our eyes sometimes. But he has got the ability, and I thought he might have struggled. But for me, he's getting better. I just didn't know how to rate him at the start of the season, because I hadn't seen of him or heard of him or what he did. But I'm pretty impressed with the improvement I've seen from week to week to week to week that we've seen him in their contest. So having him in there lets them play those other blokes down back and just gets a cut out at different stages during the game, and which he's going to need. Ezard's the other bloke that can go in and play in the ruck, which they haven't used as yet.
No, McKinnon they're using.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think Ezard's is good. He's strong, but he's still not doing enough. He's not doing enough for me in their forward line. So we spoke about him being a major player. We know Benny Crombie, if he's playing in the forward line, is good. Mulville has been good so far, and that's why he's kicked goals so far. Smith, obviously injured again today. We'll miss a couple. But now is it a chance to bring in Watson Searle, who played in the twos. He looked a bit underdone, so he might need a couple more weeks before they'll actually bring him through. But they're not getting too far away from putting their best side on the ground. But they've been able to go along, win games of football, and cover these blokes off. So what they've got to offer is pretty good. I think, again, there's a little bit of improvement there from a lot of players, but they compensate each other just by everyone else standing up at different stages. And to be honest, from the start of the game to the end, there wasn't a great many players on the field that I could actually say played 4 quarters of football. They were in and out of the contest, but as I said, it's probably one of the harder ones I've had to pick, I reckon, and they'll probably get me.
Final score at Werribee 132, Thompson 58.
Well, Werribee's a real deal. And
74 points.
And this side we're just talking about is going to play Werribee soon, but before I tell you guys their month ahead, one question I was actually going to ask in the pre-game, and I think it's more appropriate to ask now. It's grand final tomorrow, East Geelong's in. Who do you start deep forward? Because you guys, after 16 quarters of broadcasting this side, you've seen about 5 different blokes audition for the role. Who would you pick and why?
Yeah, well, Smith will definitely start. Smith, if you're going to play Smith, he's got to play deep forward. Yep. He's not a player that plays up the ground, not for mine. He's just one of those blokes that's really smart around goals, and you don't want him to get any more than a kick away, because if he gets the ball in there, generally he'll kick you 3 or 4, and that's what a forward's supposed to do. So for me, he's the obvious start at full forward. Who you line up beside him and in front of him, you can weigh that all up. But Ezzard's got to get the ground. Yeah, well, he'll end up being there, I think, at some stage, and Mulville would be a good option there.
The Hoff's got to be down there.
Well, actually, yeah, he was really good today. I was really impressed. Those couple of grabs he took late in the game, just jumping and running at the ball, and for a little bloke, he was very confident in doing so, and his kicking is pretty good.
Yeah. Could have 3 forwards in the team of the year from East Geelong the way they're going.
I think Dale's right. Smith has to play deep. Yep. You don't want him in. He's done his hammy up here. Yep. And doing the right thing, chasing his opponent, but he's up here on the half-back flank. You don't want that at St Albans. I mean, we've seen it a couple of times, a couple of very good kicks. Hoff did kick one of them over to Mulville, who just ran into the space. You don't want to see Smith up this far in the ground. You just don't want to see it. Watson Searle's a different sort of footballer, probably more mobile, but again, he's got to get some senior games under his belt. Probably needs 1 or 2 more in the twos, as Dale did say, as Belmont did with Jones. Temptations to rush him back, but then you end up costing yourself if they go down again. It's another 4, another 6 weeks. So you've got to give them that time. Even if it's only 2.5 quarters they play in the seconds, just to get that feel for it again and make sure nothing's going to go wrong. They do have some options. I mean, you've still got players to come back into this side, and that's the scary part about it. And a lot of their blokes, there's some good sized blokes. Your Tim Lees, your Fanning, obviously big boy. Even young Samson Brunt for those 2 or 3 games, and we've seen him playing a couple of them. Came in late against North Geelong here and acquitted himself well. So there's players in the seconds, they can shuffle the deck a fair bit here, mate. So a lot of weapons in Ned's arsenal, or the East Geelong arsenal. So yeah.
Well, those deep forwards that have gone through the Rezzies, Jones you'd give a tick, Smith you'd probably give a tick. Very interested to see the goal kickers on Thompson's list. I want to know how Jacko McLeod went today, so that'll be the first thing I'll look at tonight.
Wouldn't have seen a lot of the ball by look at the score.
Well, when you're up against a midfield of Crennan, Culliver, Prismal, that's just the reality.
Still got young Menzies too.
Yeah, you got Hugh Menzies to come back in, but he's if he's going to play finals. Senior finals, he's going to play 5 or 6 in the 2, so you're talking round 16.
He wasn't running over there today, was he? Nah. So
I don't think he's due back till after the bye. So you're probably talking round 16 before he even gets a look at senior football.
Yeah. So East Geelong's next month, Bannockburn at Bannockburn, and they've just had a big win against Belpost Hill today, so they're back on the winners list. They go in with momentum. If you play them and they've just lost to Thompson at Thompson or wherever, it might be a different thing.
That's fair enough.
Dale, your thoughts on Banno?
Yeah, look, as I said, it's difficult because those younger players they had at the start of the season they haven't got, and then obviously now with Elzinga down at Geelong Falcons, depending on how he goes today, if he stays in there, they've been able to do enough today with what what they have against Belpost Hill, and we expected that to happen. But again, different proposition against this lot next week. So tough game. I don't know which way you'd call it, to be honest.
Yep. So we'll have the weekend off, and then East Geelong's fortnight after that will be Werribee Central's away and Belmont Lions here in round 11.
Well, they got a tough month of footy. Or a tough 3 or 4 weeks
So-
coming up. So
Pretty exciting league to be in, guys. I'm just going
Yep.
to summarise it like that.
Oof. That's going to show where we're at leading in to the second. I mean, I expect those 3 sides to be there. So for me now, there's 2 spots left in the top 5.
I think I'm with you now. After today's result, I'm just mentally taking one out of my 5 and putting one in.
For me,
and if you're intelligent, you'll know which ones I'm talking about.
for me, there's Jackson McLeod didn't play today in the end, mate. So you won't know how many he kicked. He didn't kick any. Paint's texted in. I've just checked the players list. So anyway, we need to get on to our 3-2-1 gents, and as has been the last few weeks, we've probably had someone who's been pretty well clear best on, but I don't know about today. So I'm not going to throw you under the bus, Tig.
I'm happy to go in the middle if you want. Just don't put me first.
I will lead off. I will lead off because Grubby's not here, and I don't really care if he is. I gave my 1 vote to Tim Lee. I actually thought he was fantastic down back, and we seen Gould last week, and probably with Huff being out, made him a bit less potent, but I gave my 1 to Tim Lee. I thought he was really, really good down back all day. I gave my 2 to Finn Parrish. I thought he was clearly Winch's best player, and he just uses the ball so well. And he's a lot quicker than I thought he was too. He's in a couple of contests where he's run. And I don't know what to say about this bloke, Dale.
I shall not weary us.
I do not know what to say at this bloke. He, again, I mean, I think we judged him harshly against Geelong West 2 weeks ago, but if you're talking about possibly close to a 4-quarter performance, the captain, and I called it, I said I think he's going to be the Whitley medalist this year. The captain of East Geelong got my 3 votes in, John McIntyre.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to cop as much criticism as possible. I was expecting a very, very big opening quarter from him, and my eyes looked elsewhere. I look at the game differently. You guys knew that the 3 years I was in this box, and I have not.
You've been in New South Wales, mate, so there's only 3 teams in the comp up there, so we understand. Anyway, go, mate.
That's something Grubby didn't leave us, was the voucher, would he?
No, he hasn't. That's all right. We'll get it out when we need to get it out.
Well, the 2 unlucky ones for me were both McIntyre and Alistair Mars. I thought he was very good. I had to give 1 to a Winchelsea player, and that was Finn Parrish.
You don't have to, mate.
Oh,
There's no law that says you have to.
He just played that Alex Gubbins role that I last saw when I saw a Winchelsea game 5.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna. It's a big title.
No, fair enough.
I'm gonna give my 2 to Mulville because of his precise kicking the better spots. All right, your average bloke that clicks on the website, they look through the goals and all that. It's Donahue versus him for the goal kicking. That's not what East Geelong's forward line's about.
Okay.
And with my 3 votes, I'm taking the coach's advice. Every time he had the ball, he made an impact, and I'm going with Crombie for 3.
No worries, mate. Hey, it's how you see it, buddy. It's not how it. Yeah, we're not here to hang it on. We're not grubby.
Oh, but Dale's smirking now, so I might have my pants pulled down.
No.
Before we go to you, Dale.
It's amazing. I think in a game like today, it's very,
Before
very
you
hard.
go, Dale, Inverleigh 92 at defeated Anarchy 82. That's final, and the Cryers final. Belmont's young one's not final. It's 106-63 there, so the game's over. Away you go, Dale.
I gave 1 to Mrs. Crombie because she brought us up some cakes.
I'm all for that. That wins.
So I did actually give
That's
1 to
5
Ben.
votes for
I actually did give 1 vote to Benny Crombie. I thought he was good. He got the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. I actually started to look around when I think Spider might have mentioned his name, and I thought
he was
I
on
haven't
the
even
bench.
called him yet. Yeah, but from that point on, he got himself involved in the game. Harris Morahan was the other bloke that I actually probably could have given a vote to. My
Agreed.
2 votes would definitely agree. Finn Parrish, if they hadn't won the game, he probably gets my 3 votes.
Agreed.
He was just sensational. Provided run, and he not only runs from the half back line, he gets himself up the ground and gets involved with his carry on running and provides options up forward. And I'm the same. Johnny McIntyre for me, like, I know we didn't give him a vote the other week, and he probably, again, you look at the impact he has, and just around the contest, he's just so good. He gets to where the ball has to be. Very rarely does he get caught, and if he does, he's a bit like Matty Tyson, always gets his hands up and he's able to free the ball away. So I reckon that's a really good sign for him. I don't know how old the bloke is. He's been around the scenes for a long, long time, but he's not getting any worse. I can tell you that. He is just a sensational footballer and uses the ball so well, so he gets my 3 votes.
So the way it turned out here is Johnny McIntyre has got 6, Finn Parrish has got 5, and Benny Crombie, he got none, but Mrs. Crombie got 4.
Beautiful.
So John McIntyre is our Hotham player of the day. I think it's the second or third one he's got from us this year. But yeah, it's just it's just class, I think, Dale, and that's all there is.
As I said, you look at the start of the game, Sammy Lowe was right up there, and Jaden McLaughlin, I'm thinking, how good is this guy going to be today? And then I think, I actually asked you, was he still on the ground?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there is a few around. There's a few bits, and it was one of those games where there's bits and pieces players. And let's be honest, there was blokes who came in and came. They got really scrappy for a while. You can't find good players in a scrap when the umpire. You can't get. Well, we did get the umpire of a Hotham voucher the other week, didn't we, at Belmont Anarchy? But
they did, yes.
You know, so but you can't when it's scrappy like that. It's hard to find good players. But yeah. Anyway, Alex, we need to thank our sponsors, please, mate.
We sure do. Look, I can't remember who actually took it, but the Routley's mark of the day took place just to the right there. He actually took it about 15 metres over the boundary line, but if the umpire says it's a mark, there you have it. So there's your recipient there. Routley's do a terrific job just around the corner from this ground. Kemp Engineering, how good are they? I've been in the hunt.
Kemp Engineering even better.
That's it. I've spent 5 years in the Hunter Valley, so I've been all my teammates have been engineers, and they ask, who's your local engineer? I go, Kemp Engineering. That's who my local one is, back in Geelong. I don't know what they do, but there you go. I got to look after the locals, look after your hometown. Now, Spider, let's see if you're a man of your word. You were going to Corio Bay Health during the week. You're a bit sore last broadcast game. How'd you go?
I'm even worse this week,
well,
mate.
there you go. Not a great endorsement if you did go to them, but thankfully you didn't, because they do a terrific job there. Look, some people listen to me, they don't know how old I am when they're not watching the live stream. Yes, I am above 18, which means I can gain entry into not only the yards but the common affine as well. They do a great job there, whether it's a counter feed, whether it's a beer. And being back in Victoria, I've got to learn the system now. It's back to pints and pots. Usually I just walk in and it's ready to go. So nonetheless, hopefully both the bartenders there are having a listen.
And the Hotham, mate. Don't forget the Hotham.
The Hotham as well. The Hotham votes. We've just gone through them, Spider. I don't know how much more we've got to go there. We even had the Hotham's the great Maury on the station this morning.
81 hashtag this morning.
Beautiful work there. Promote it. Look, if there's anyone that does a better job of promoting than us three, it's probably promoted themselves, and this hoodie is feeling lovely. I tell you what, I'm going to bed in it tonight. Might even walk to the AFL and have a look there. And victory trophies. Well, you know what, I don't have a lot of trophies in life, but I reckon if anyone ever wants to give me a trophy, make sure you go through victory trophies, because they do a terrific job. How'd we go, Spider? I reckon I've missed about 3. But
you haven't. Athlete's Foot of the other one, mate.
Oh, Athlete's Foot. The MVP votes were released this week. So Billy Smets was the outright leader with 14 in the senior football. But after today's results, he was 1 vote ahead of Michael Culliver. No, what's Culliver's first? Michael Culliver.
Yep.
So you never know. Could be 3 votes for him there. And in the netball, there were about 7 girls squeezing into that top 3 mathematically. So, Athlete's Foot do a terrific job. And the store manager, Michael Bordavalis, Bav, he had a very good last quarter as well. Didn't do enough to feature in the Hotham votes, but I'm sure he'll give himself some Athlete's Foot votes. That's it for me. You guys have put up with me all afternoon. Spider, they'll really appreciate getting the jumper back.
Well, mate, as I said...
Johnny McIntyre doesn't, but everyone else did.
In a month or so, mate, we'll have another vacancy. Might have 2, depending on Dale going to his 30-year losing grand final reunion. He only usually goes to the 3-peat for Geelong reserves, mate, and they have him, but because they won those ones.
Yeah, we haven't. This is the first one I've actually been invited to up there, so it's going to be interesting.
Mate, we talked about we were hanging a bit last week about Winch being cold, mate. You go to Learmonth, I'll tell you what, mate. You want to pack the thermals, the ski boots, the ski jacket, 7 beanies, and everything else. So all right. Thank you, Tig, for filling in, mate. I said in a month or so we'll have another vacancy. So I'm sure the head of the GDFNL media will slot in here. You might even be calling if Dale's not here, mate, and we'll find someone. I get Tyler to slot into the the special comments. He talks plenty of crap behind us. So,
and he looks good in the maroon. These boys have
they've got
absolutely
their top.
outmodelled everyone.
To Brad and Tyler, again, thank you very much. Outstanding job.
Don't forget the ponds up to the duck pond next week, Spider.
Yes, next week's game, Dale and I have already decided, and we're not going nowhere near Grubby, so I think we're going to might go to Winch. No, we're going to go to, which will be a top-of-the-table clash between the undefeated Belmont Lions and the equal second, I'd say. Well, they might even go back to second today with a 100-point win.
And the boys are leaving Friday to make it there Saturday.
Yeah, the truck's going up Tuesday apparently on the back of a float. They're going to float it up. They won't drive it that far. But yeah, so we'll be at what's it called? Simul Oval now. Simul Oval. We'll be there watching Werribee versus Belmont, which will be an absolute cracking game. Alan, back in the studio. We thank you very much, mate. Thank you to listeners. Thank you to our viewers. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.